Egg.
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 And here we are
Egg.
with egg. Hello and
Egg.
welcome. My name is Ben. We are the Clodcast, and I am here with Harry,
Egg.
Roy,
Egg.
and we are here to rank the egg.
Egg.
So yeah, egg PRs. Hello, welcome again. Clodcast is back at it again. PRs. We've had 3 videos released so far, so you guys should know how this works. We rank teams on 4 different categories, and those 4 different categories will give us a total score of what the team should be. Yeah, egg division. New division for us. One more video, more content for us, but also more time to use on this. So yeah, that was all for
Egg.
the intro. Egg.
Egg.
And let's get right into it. At number 16, we have Shinobi Fox, aka Penis, aka the Erect, aka the Gay Aussie. Yeah, so here you can see the 4 categories we rank teams on. Number 1, basics. Does the team fulfill the basics of what a draft should have? Like a basic draft. Does it have the right speed tiers? Does it have hazards, setting, and removal? Does it have momentum? Because yes, momentum is very important in this current day and age. Offensive core, self-explanatory. How good is the offensive core? How good does it work together? Defensive core, same thing, just for the defensive end. And then we have support. How good does the team support what it wants to do? So yeah.
Stuff like heel bow.
Yeah, and
Etc.
we're immediately starting with a very weird team because, as you can see, Penis has drafted every single evolution and EV, and then added Mega Glamour and Dragonite to that.
Yeah.
They're not evolutions.
Yeah, but
No, Mega Glamour is actually the poison version, and Dragonite is the dragon
Oh.
version. That's what they're
Sorry,
going to
common
be.
mistake. I must have missed the next Legends game.
Yeah, Gen
so Penis made a bet with me. He wants to make playoffs while using all the evolutions in EV, and then use the rest of his points for 2 mons he has left over, which he did in this case. So yeah,
Imagine if Penis makes playoffs and Pate doesn't.
that,
Bit of flex, I can't lie.
you know, if the full-on evolution team makes playoffs, anybody who did not make playoffs should really take a good look at themselves.
Yeah, good luck, Harry, in 8 weeks.
Riptides, you can't miss playoffs again.
Surely I'll win a game this season, right?
Surely.
You should.
Anyways, let's get into the basics. Obviously, this team is missing some typing. We are missing also some very important typings. First of all, let's start with the not so important one. You're missing a bug type, which is never essential in a draft because bug type is pretty bad overall. Fighting type is a nice to have, but not necessary, as fighting type's offense is very good, but it's not necessary for a standard draft. Now we get to Ghost, which you could say is rather important because Ghost gives you obviously an immunity to rock, not to rock, to normal and fighting, which sometimes you can go without a Ghost type if you have the necessary resistances, but if we look at it, yes, you have fighting type switch-ins in the Dragonite and Sylveon. Espeon is not a switch-in. Let's not get around. But your normal type switch-in is only the Mega Glamoura, which, while it has passable bulk, it's also one of your biggest offensive threats, so I don't know how much you want to let that take hits.
Agreed.
Yeah.
And now to the 2 big ones missing. We are missing a ground type. Why is missing a ground type bad? Electric types. Now, we do have an electric immunity in the Volt Absorb Jolteon. Now, is Jolteon a bulky enough Pokemon to take neutral hits? Well, no. So let's say we have a Raging Bolt, which coincidentally is not undrafted in this division, but this is just as an example. A Draco Meteor comes, this Jolteon is probably taking 80%.
Yeah, there
And
is, by the way,
dying.
light side note, there is some very weird there is some very powerful mons that have not been drafted in this division.
Might be because there's a team with full-on evolutions and all, but hey.
I don't think it explains all of it, to be honest.
And the most important one that is missing is a Steel type. Now, why is it important to have a Steel type? First of all, it is an immunity to poison, which Toxic Stall can get very annoying. Yes, you have Glamora, which cannot be poisoned, but as mentioned again, Glamora is one of your best offensive mons on this team, and you don't necessarily want it to take too many neutral hits. And obviously, the big part is Steel type's defensive prowess, because the Steel type is the best defensive type in the game, and missing a Steel type often creates large gaps in the defensive department. Now, the speed tiers are actually pretty okay, everything considered, because yes, you have a tiny gap between Jolteon and Espeon, which can be abused by certain Pokemon, but it's not too huge. Then the big gap, though, is between Vaporeon and Dragonite, because there is some mons in those speed tiers which can get very annoying to deal with. The rest is actually pretty fine. Now for the other issue. Hazard setting is completely reliant on your offensive Mega Pokemon. Removal is completely reliant on your setup sweeper. And also your Mega Pokemon again. And momentum-wise, you have two moves that are offensive momentum. While yes, most of your team gets Baton Pass, which you can obviously use as momentum. The only offensive momentum we have is Volt Switch and Flip Turn, which can both technically be immunized by a ground type, Volt Absorb, or Water Absorb / Storm Drain Pokemon. So, yeah.
Ben basically taking my copium point. I thought he was going to miss the baton pass.
It is very, very much copium.
Only an egg.
No, hang on. You have Dragonite eject pack. There you go. With Dracometer. There's some
Now we're
copium.
cooking with
We
gas.
have Overheat
Now we got
Flareon with Eject Pack.
And Penis would run that as well, I ain't gonna lie.
That's even more heat.
Yeah, honestly, I will say this, and we'll get to it as we go along. For a team of Evolutions and Eevee, it could be worse.
Drop the Eevee, man. Do we need it?
I did suggest it. I did generally say drop the Eevee and you add one more high tier. This team actually isn't that bad. This team is pretty solid.
Just add a Steel type. Drop the Eevee for a Steel type.
I mean, the Eevee is also something I wanted to mention when we get to defensive core, because the Eevee is the normal type on this team, which means it's shit. You do have a dark type that is Umbreon, which obviously will take ghost moves well. But Eevee is just there.
To be fair, Eevee is just there. Like, honestly, if you take away the Eevee, I don't think it really changes anything on the team, because Umbreon covers the dealing with ghost types just fine.
Yeah.
And I actually think Umbreon's like one of the most is actually a very handy mon that can kind of carry this team if Penis uses it right.
Yeah,
exactly.
For sure.
And Eevee's not even bulky enough to have Eviolite sets.
Yeah. Let's get into the offensive core now, though. So, for this, let's start with the better side, special. We have Sylveon, Glaceon, some niche Vaporeon sets, some niche Dragonite sets, Glamora, Espeon, and Jolteon. Now, though,
very good.
The physical side. It's Dragonite.
Leafeon gets Soul Stance.
Leafeon and Flareon.
And maybe adaptability Mega Glamora?
We're copying again.
We are coping. Listen, I'm going to be coping with this team because this is basically a meme team. So, like, there is some copium here, like, no matter what.
Yeah.
What did I look this up the other day? What does Mega Glamora get on the physical side? Oh, yeah, it gets Gunk Shot. Yeah, it does get Gunk Shot. It does get Rock Slide. So it can.
We had this discussion a few days ago.
We did.
We
because
did.
Roy did mention
We did.
it.
That's why I remember it. I honestly, it's the more serious point on this team because I can see Penis bringing that purely because of his team having such lacking physical offense. Because your best physical offense outside of Dragon Knight is Flareon and Leafeon that are shit. They're shit mons.
Yeah.
Let's be real. The special offense is great. The physical offense is shite.
Yeah, for sure. The other issue with the offense and why I think you guys were a little generous is that a lot of the EVs share the same neutral coverage.
Yeah, that's true.
So the stab coverage is obviously different on all of them, but the coverage moves is basically Shadow Ball and Signal Beam on most of them.
Yeah, I will say this.
Yeah.
I will gladly admit I was generous on this team because I'm grading on a curve.
I thought it was hilarious.
I'm grading on a curve.
I mean, shit, you get a lowering voice as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Joel and Learning Forest is actually a legitimate move. It can run. Means
You
it can
get
1v1
sword
the Lungeon
power as
Bolt.
well. You get sword
Yeah.
power. You could do some nasty sets on that.
No. You could not with Jolteon. You can do it with Vaporeon. I've actually run Vaporeon, Acid Armor, Calm Mind, Sword Power Wish into a rain team. They had no Dark type, and that has actually won me a game. But yeah, the only ones that can really do store power stuff is probably Umbreon, Vaporeon, and Sylveon. It needs bulk. You can't do it with Jolteon.
Yeah.
Can't even really do it with Umbreon, to be honest.
And thankfully, Flareon gets superpower. Yay.
I will have to say again, you guys were also very generous on the defensive core. Yes, we have some very viable defensive mons in Vaporeon, Umbreon, and Sylveon. Anything else, you are either coping or you are running a defensive Dragonite, which you never want to do on this team.
I maybe in coping. I will say this: they do all get healing, and it's why it's wish healing a lot. And I don't. And by the way, I don't mean as in Jolteon defensively or Espeon defensively or Leafeon. What Leafeon is this actually? Because it can take a physical hit.
Yeah, but his HP stat is still not that good.
Oh yeah, no, but I think it can take a physical hit, like in a pinch, like
It's still
if you're really
it's still taking
ground
50
type
from that U-turn.
it gets so, yeah. I mean, yeah. Like I think I'm like, again trading on a curve. I do think the defense is not at that bad considering what he's had to work with. And maybe it's because maybe because three of my favorite monster draft like his defensive pieces throughout a draft is Umbreon, Vaporeon, and Sylveon. I do rate them as a defensive mons. It's just they probably don't really work well together.
Yeah.
Because especially the lack of steel type is a big problem. Because Toxic into this is very spammable, and yes, you do have Magic Bounce Espeon, and you do have Synchronized Umbreon. It's not really an answer a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Do need heal Bow every week.
Yeah. And some other things to mention are obviously that some of these the weakness chart is pretty bad for some typings especially. Like, your only resist to poison will be Glamora, which, as I've mentioned before, it's your best offensive mon straight out the gate, so taking damage on that sucks.
Your
And
best offensive, your best setter, your best everything.
Mhm.
You're gonna be expending that mon.
yeah, not having a steel type also makes Sylveon the sole dragon type switch in, which also sucks because some dragon types do get Iron Head or Poison Jab coverage, so Sylveon will have to deal with those. And then obviously something like the ground type weakness being pretty bad. While you do have Dragonite and Leafeon should not come that often because it's one of the shitter EVs. Let's be real.
Yeah, I would actually argue. Actually, you know what? I'd argue it's actually better than Flareon.
I mean, yeah, it's better than Flareon, but better than Flareon is a bright spectrum.
Yeah. I mean, what Ben? Actually, let's have some fun with this team as well. Before what order would you rate the evolutions in? Let's all go in turns.
On how good they are, or on how much I like them.
You can take a pick. I'm going to go with how good. Actually, no, I'll go how much I like them. You can go how good they are.
I mean, how good they are. Sylveon is obviously number one.
Yeah.
There is not a lot of debate there. After that, I think it's a toss-up between Umbreon and Vaporeon, as they are both pretty good wish passers and defensive pieces. It just depends on what you like more. Do you like overall bulk from Umbreon more, or do you like the fatter wish passes and the potential offensive sets from Vaporeon more? After that, I would say it's probably Jolteon, as I rate it a little more than Espeon, but without Terra, obviously Jolteon can be pretty fucking awful because its coverage does not include anything to hit ground types for strong damage. So that's also a toss-up between those two. And then I would say it's Leafeon, Glaceon, and last place is Flareon.
See, I would have like Glaceon higher. I think Glaceon's actually quite good. Like if you
I
use it
think
right
Glaceon's
now.
really cool.
The problem is
I'd bring it more than some of the other ones.
It's an ice
like
type
shit,
that is
but-
neither bulky nor fast.
Yeah, but you don't want to. To be fair, you don't want an ice type to be bulky because ice type really isn't.
Yeah,
really,
but it's also
very
not
few
fast.
ice types can make bulk. Yeah, that is the only flaw of it. I think you have to like. When I've tried Glaceon a couple of times, I thought it's like 2 matchups, but it always gets kills to me when I bring it. Bring it into a team where you can just run Choice Scarf, Ice Beam, go bruh, or like into a Trick Room mode.
Yeah, but
I prefer it to be above there.
I think Jolteon and Espeon are a little more consistent than Glaceon, but
That's fair. Design-wise, Sylveon's the best. Fans' rights are human rights.
I agree, but I prefer Glaceon design-wise. I love Glaceon.
That's fine.
anyways, let's get into the support part, which obviously is pretty good because you have a shit ton of wish passes. You have Heal Bell on every Mon except Glamora, which is funny. Now
Heal Bell team.
you have T-Wave.
And Wish on every Mon but Dragonite and Mega Lamora.
Yeah. You also have some good T-Wave users. You have screens. Now to some bad parts. Because again, I think Roy did some copium with the support because yes, there is a lot of Heal Bell and Wishing, but the rest of the support is pretty fucking meager. Because yes, we have screens, but we have pretty ass hazard support on both sides. We have pretty ass momentum support. We have only one taunt user, which is Umbreon, which already lives in the problem with, hey, I have to have 4 moves, and 2 of them have to be Wish and Protect. Then your only knockoff user is Leafeon, and your only Will-O-Wisp user is Flareon.
I will argue that on the Umbreon you can run Moonlight instead of Wish Protect, especially on this team.
I can see it.
I guess, but then you still need Toxic and Foul Play to deal any damage.
Yeah, fine. That's actually a legit set. Taunt, Moonlight, Toxic, Foul Play. I've run that before. That's fine.
I guess.
I'm not saying it's good. No, I don't think it's good support, but everyone can run Taunt. I think just fine, especially on this team.
Yeah, but like the support is all like, yes, you have Wish Passing, yes, you have screens, yes, you have a shit ton of Heal Ball, but everything else is pretty bad, all things considered.
One Psychic Noise Mon, holy shit.
Yeah.
They should give Sylveon Psychic Noise.
Yeah, Roy was very generous on this team because how is a team full of EVs?
What can I say? I just love Penis.
Me too, man, me too.
And now from Penis, number 16, we move to number 15, which is a team I think the other two were very harsh on, but yeah.
I was.
It's smart at number.
I know we'll mention it later on, but I think it's a default situation for me.
Yeah.
Well,
and Hazard. And Hazards, to be fair.
Yeah, well, let's get into typings. Non-essential typings are Rock and Ice because there's rarely an occasion where you need those specific typings. Grass, nice to have sometimes for ground resistance, but you are covered in the department. And Fire is also nice to have because of the offensive powers and to have another resist to fairy types. Speed tiers wise, it is okay. The gap between Slitherwing and Salamence is a little annoying, and everything below Slitherwing will be running Adamant and Modest. So yeah.
And also, Slitherwing doesn't really run speed a lot of the time, does it really?
It can, but oftentimes it will not, yeah.
So that gap's even bigger when you think about it.
I think it depends on the matchup. Slitherwing can definitely run speed in some matchups, to be fair. It depends what you're bringing it for. I
guess the point is that it can't guarantee it all the time, which means the gap is a lot bigger in the average than
Yeah.
They're not.
There will be some matchups where people can just get away with dumping everything in HP and back.
Yeah, let's get into the hazard situation though, because the hazard setting situation is very bad because it's Donphan and Sneasler, which, yes, Donphan is a good rock setter, but having nothing else really is pretty bad, and Sneasler already lives in a life where, hey, I have 4 move slot syndrome, and I need to fit toxic spikes now.
Yeah.
Which it can't do reliably at all.
Yeah, for the hazard removal situation, yes, we have Donphan, which is a pretty good rapid spinner, and then we have 2 defoggers, which I don't think are too bad necessarily, because there is defensive Salamence sets that are very viable and they can run defog. Coco.
I don't think this team really likes defog though. Like Coco doesn't really want to run defog, and men can do it. To be fair, like I'm going to be bringing defog men to at least once this season. Don't deny it. But yeah, I think the removal's a bit.
I think just a primary defog would have been nice rather than 2 iffy backup ones.
Yeah, definitely. The momentum situation is pretty okay. You have 4 mons that use momentum, 5 if you count the teleport and Porygon 2 as well.
They have.
So
They have 6. They have 6. They have 6 because Slow King can run momentum too. Chilly reception and teleport.
Yeah, so I forgot that. So yeah, momentum situation is actually pretty good. So I think, yes, there is flaws with the basics, but I think you guys were very harsh on the team because
in fairness,
one of you guys
did forget the teleport mons.
One of you
that's
guys,
on me.
Yeah, one of you guys gave it a 2. I don't remember who it was, but one of you guys was just hating.
I don't think it was me.
It was one of you. I don't know who it was, but it was one of you.
I can look, actually.
I had a point in hindsight. I had a point in hindsight, in my opinion. Change it to 5.
Now to the offensive core. Physical offense is actually pretty good, pretty stacked. We have Sneasler, we have Salamence, we have Slitherwing, we have Aegislash, and we have some niche Donphan sets. And yes, Coco can also run offensive physical, while move pull is worse on the physical side, it can still hit pretty hard. Special side, we have some niche Slowking sets, some niche Porygon sets, we have Aegislash, of course, we have some niche Salamence sets, we have Iron Jugulus, and we have Coco again, because Coco with E-Terrain does hit pretty hard. I also think you guys underrated it a little bit, because you guys might have forgotten that Aegislash is an offensive mob because of the base stats.
Okay, I looked through the version history. Neither me nor Roy gave it a 2.
What did you give it?
I gave it a 3.5 and Roy gave it a 3.
Oh, then it was a 3, but still hating.
Yeah, I bumped up to a 4. To be fair, like then in hindsight, like I remember teleport assist.
Yeah, if I remember teleport exists, I probably would have gone like 4, 4.5.
Yeah, I also think you guys were hating on the offensive situation, because they have offensive hitters on both sides, and some pretty strong ones as well, because Iron Jugulus does hit very hard in E-Terrain.
If it hits.
I mean, yes, if it hits, but we are going in the case that it does hit. Coco can hit really hard. You have some, you obviously have Aegislash, which hits on both sides. And physically, you're stacked up pretty good as well with Sneasler, Salamence, and Slitherwing.
Okay, Ben, but can you remember one thing? Grat Block is better than Iron Jugulus.
True that.
I think I remember the people voting in favor of Iron Jugulus.
The people do not
biased.
know what they're on about. Also, Gablock didn't keep its move to champion, so it's a 1-point mon. As I said in that video. The 1-point mon now, it didn't keep the move, so.
Yeah.
Shame.
Yeah, I think you guys were very mean on the offensive core, because I think it's actually better than the defensive core, which I will get into now. The defensive core is still pretty good, because we have some Aegislash sets, some Salamence sets that can be defensive. And then the main defensive Pokemon will be Donphan, Porygon, and Slowking, which are actually pretty good. Porygon has natural recovery, so does Slowking. And there is some niche wish support for the Donphan in the case of Salamence, which it can help it out. It's definitely a pretty decent defenses. I do think the offenses are better though, so I think you guys were definitely a little off on there.
I forgot someone said wish, honest to God.
I think the defense is actually pretty good. Like, yeah, no, Mence is it's because Bagon wishes to basically fly, so that's why it gets wish. That actually makes sense law-wise.
Huh.
I don't know if that's the reason, but it actually makes sense against wish.
Yeah.
I mean, now that you mention it.
Yeah, no, it actually does fit quite well.
And now to the support, which I also think was very underrated by you guys. Yes, the hazard support is pretty bad. There's no ways around that. But momentum support is very solid, as we've established. We don't have aromatherapy or heal bell, which can be annoying. Yes, we do have taunt and some good taunt as well. We have one good knockoffer and one mon that will not run knockoff. We only have one Will-O-Wisp user, which is Slitherwing, which yes can run it sometimes, but not necessarily. We have some good T-Wave users though. But the main part's obviously Coco supports this team pretty well. It supports the Sneasler and the Jugulus with the E-Terrain. And then we also have Trick Room support for offensive variants of Aegislash and Dawnfan.
I also checked. Roy gave the support a 3. Holy shit!
Yeah, Roy was.
I gave it a 5.5.
Yeah, Roy was hating on this team really hard for no reason.
I feel like there was a reason. Let me have a think. Iron Jugulus. That's a joke, by the way. I think I was just.
I think 5.5.
This
That's all
might have
division.
generally been the 80th team I ranked. I was just so tight at this point. I was just so cranky at every little nitpick. I was like, "Fuck it, no."
I guess this team has
Rabble's better.
Yes, this team has some flaws. But I don't think it's only 1 point better than the full EV team. Like that is insane to me.
Yeah, but the EV team's cuter.
Good argument.
It is. I'm not wrong.
I would argue Porygon 2 is cuter.
Oh, Porygon 2 is very cute.
That's also a good point.
But I'd say it's like third cute out of the EVs. Like very cute mom, but
yeah, like this team was hated on for no reason. I actually quite like this team. Yes, there's flaws, but I don't think it's a bad team.
I wouldn't say it's bad, but I don't think there's definitely a lot of flaws make me rank it lower.
You ranked it below the EV team. You don't get an opinion in this.
Did you rank the EV team? I didn't even realize it did.
Let me look.
Oh,
let me look.
I didn't even mean to, so I apologize for that. That was not okay. I think I was okay. That might just be me just being nice to Penis. I did not think this team was below the EV team. I agree with that. Yeah, I'd a point into basics and support for my ranking. This would actually be probably 13th.
Now the next team, Win the Bun. Which
my op.
Yeah, which you guys were also a little mean on because it's also only 2 points better than the full EV team.
No, there's reasons. This one I just find a lot more.
Let's get into it. Typings wise, we're missing rock, which is not essential. We're missing grass, which, as mentioned before, can be nice sometimes. Normal can be pretty good for some teams. In this case, it would be pretty good to have a normal type because your dark type is Urshifu.
Yep.
Which is not the best hit taker. And then a big part on the team, you do not have a poison type, specifically a grounded poison type. Why is that bad? Toxic spikes can get very annoying.
Especially when you don't have great removal.
Yes. Which we will get into in a second. Speed tiers wise, there is a gap between Sandy Shocks and Frostlass that is abusable. The rest of the speed tiers look pretty okay. Now, the hazard setting situation is also pretty bad because it's gonna be a lot on the Sandy Shocks. Yeah, it's Sandy Shocks or you put spikes on your mega offensive Pokemon in the Frostlass. Which, yes, sometimes it can run it. It also, Mega Frostlass is specifically also for Moveslot Syndrome Pokemon because it wants Blizzard, it wants Shadow Ball. Sometimes it wants Will-O-Wisp, it wants Veil, it wants Nasty Claw. So yeah, kind of a struggle sometimes.
And now it wants spikes. So that's like what 6-7 moves that it wants to run.
Exactly.
6-7.
I wasn't even fucking intending to make that joke. Christ.
Oh my god. You know what? For that alone, I think this is very deserved. He deserves that.
If in doubt, kick him out.
Let's be real. For that joke, he deserved that.
That was worth it. Worth it for the joke.
And now to the two other parts. Removal situation is very, very dire on this team. It is just Torn.
And let me explain why that's bad in my opinion. As someone who loves Torn and uses Torn all the time, because he's a good defogger. You want Torn to be flexible. here it is your only defog.
Which means that man's got boots on 24/7.
Yep, it's on boot street, and if it doesn't come defog, then you need to run boots on everything else. And you've got a mega that can't run boots.
And is weak to
You've also got a
And
mon.
it is also weak to rocks.
Yeah, weak to rocks. You also got there's definitely at least another mon down there that kind of would need to run boots, or you want to be keeping boots off the field if you want to use it properly.
Typhlosion.
This
Yep.
is why I ranked it so low, in my opinion.
Yeah, I
It's
think I was
simply-
hating on the other team. I think the basics here are not very good, in my opinion.
Yeah,
The momentum isn't great either. Like
the fact that this team and the previous team have the same basics is a little crazy to me.
agreed. I think I was overhating on Mark's team. I think I stand by my rating on this one.
Now then, momentum situation is also very dire because it's 3 months. The rest of the team does not momentum at all, except for baton pass on Floet.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're also not gonna be able to get your threats in as effectively as you want to. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't even do a joke. Maybe a joke hype, whatever Hooper move it
On
gets.
you,
It
Roy.
knows it's back. I'm not having a good day today, so I'm not feeling particularly 100% today. So I drank too much last night.
Anyways,
Apologies.
My goat.
let's get into the offenses. For physical offense, we have Niche, Araquanid, and Celesteela sets. We have Dracovish, which yes, the attack stat looks worse than it is because Fish's Rent is fucking nasty.
It is.
Then we have Hoopa Unbound and Urshifu Single Strike. On the special side, we have
I'll
Torn.
allow that Arachnoid as well because Arachnoid can actually hit like a truck as well with water bubble.
I did
It
mention
can.
it. On the special side, we have Torn. We have Mega Frostlass, we have Sandy Shocks, we have Typhlosion, we have Floet, we have Hoopa, and we have Celesteela again. So yeah, special side.
Typhlosion Eruption will hit like a fucking motherfucker.
Yeah,
Yeah, Eruption definitely.
the special side is definitely better than the physical side here as well, because physically it's very reliant on Urshifu and Hoopa, because yes, Dracovish Fish's Rent hits like a motherfucker, but if somebody has a water absorb Pokemon, that just will not hurt at all.
It's wrapped.
Yeah.
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 And I feel like your physical situation is kind of dire because you're relying on 2 mons that are like Celesteela, Araquanid, and Hooper can all run like mixed.
Yeah.
And in fact, you're relying on mixed mons is kind of iffy.
Yeah, I would also say another weakness that I considered when I was rating the offense as well, and it is going to seem kind of harsh, because Torn is locked into defog. I didn't really care. I still think the special offense is good, by the way. Like I think to be fair, at least they have got mons that can kind of cover for it because they do have like a lot of special mons that can rerun. But I didn't really count Torn in the offense for this team because it has to be defensive. I still think the offense is the best part of the team though.
Yeah.
Even the weaknesses.
Yeah, there's also some.
I agree.
There's also some issues which I want to get into now while I get into the defensive core, because some mons that can run offensive sets are very forced on this team to run defensive sets, like the Celesteela. Because if you look at the rest of the defensive situation, otherwise, yes, Torn can run defensive sets, but Torn can also be one-hit KO'd. It's not a bulk and all be all mon. Sandy Shocks can run defensive sets. Floet can run special defensive sets. Hoopa can carry an AV, and Arachnoid can run defensive sets. But if we look at the whole team and consider what are the mons you would truly call a defensive mon on this team, it's just Celesteela and Arachnoid, and Floet in some cases.
Honestly, I think the last team is above this one.
I think so.
Upon
Yeah, I
retrospection.
But Roy is a hater.
I'm not.
For
I
once.
don't. This is a heinous accusation. Ben is framing me.
It's just the fact that you're only like if Torn T is taken out the equation, the mons that are doing damage like Mega Frostlass and Typhlosion get absolutely cooked by the Stealth Rocks and Spikes and etc. etc.
Being serious for a moment, like I said actually just like a few minutes ago, I had a couple of points onto the Mark team because I think I was overhating. I do think the Mark team is better than this. So like,
I think take a
this
point
is
off this
15.
team if anything.
No, the points are fine. Mark's just too low. Mark would at least be 14. This is now 15, like officially.
Ben, edit the number 5 onto this real quick.
Um,
Top left.
I can't click on it while I'm in the fucking show.
Yeah, he's doing a
showcasing it.
slideshow. You can't see it.
Does it update if
We learned
I
that-
change?
No, it does not, I think. But
No, I learned that
Damn.
yesterday because I added an end note to the slide boss who was mid basically stream making a joke about Pate going over 9.
Let's get to the support category. Hazard support is obviously pretty bad on both sides. Momentum support also pretty bad. We don't have Encore. We don't have Memento. I also don't think that we have Healing Wish. Maybe Frostless gets it, but again, for Moves Lost Syndrome, if it even gets it.
I'll check. To be honest, I don't think you want to run it on it anyway because I'd argue you'd want to Healing Wish to Frostless.
Yeah.
I'll double check though. I don't think it gets it though.
We do have Heal Bell on the Floed. We have some good taunters. We have good knockoffers. We have Will-O-Wisp users. We have T-Wave users. We have Screens and Aurora Veil, which is pretty huge here as well on this team.
I would say this, like going back to Mexico to give them a slight buff on it. The Aurora Fail will help with some of the weaknesses.
Yeah. One cool thing as well to mention for the support, the Snow actually can help the Torn, considering the Torn will be able to run Ice-type Weather Ball.
Which is really nice.
Yeah, but like the big one is the Frost, the Aurora Veil, and the Screens the Sandy Shocks can provide. But again, these are two Pokemon that you want to run different sets because the Sandy Shocks has to be your hazard setter, and the Mega Frostless is your Mega Pokemon that is meant to be an offensive role.
Yeah.
So yeah, this team also has some issues on support.
I think the support should be 4 points, not 5. Weirdly.
I agree, but
This is 14. So this is 15. Then the Mark team is 14.
yeah.
But again, I have to hate because it has Iron Jugulus and Grapbox better.
It is though,
yeah.
like objectively.
Next up we have Claire, which is also just 0.5 better, which I also found to be very crazy. Let's get into it. First of all, basics wise, we don't have an Ice type and a Rock type, non-essential. We don't have a Ghost type. You do have Ferrothorn as your normal type switch, and then you do have enough fighting type switch-ins for that not to be an issue. We don't have an electric type, which electric types can be nice to have, but it is not necessary. The big type you're missing is a dark type. Why is not having a dark type an issue? Because psychic types can freely spam into you. Yes, you do.
And Prankstermons.
Yeah. Yes, you do have resists to psychic, but it's mostly gonna be on Ferrothorn the duty because, yes, Lele can take some hits. Zam cannot really, and with the Lele, you're buffing the opposing psychic types.
Yeah. There's also some speed gaps which I don't like as well, which is why I rate the basics quite low.
Yeah, there's the huge gap between Mega Zam and Cyclozar, of course, which is not too abusable because there's not a lot of Pokemon in there, so I don't think it's that bad. The big one is the one between Hawlucha and Tapu Lele, and then anything below Gouging Fire because Cutiefly is not a Mon.
No.
Also, Hawlucha will be unburdened a lot of the time as well,
Yeah.
so that speed gap will get even bigger upon unburden proc.
Yeah, so you have a huge gap between Cyclozar and Lele, and then the huge gap between Gouging Fire and Toxapex.
Going back to also why I also rate the basics low as well because of the lack of dark type, they don't really have a Mon that likes taking knockoff, to be honest.
Yes.
Because
No, not at all. For a form without an item can be devastating a little bit.
Yeah, because Ferrothorn likes its resist berries in the Chopper and the Okaberry, oftentimes because those are the only types that threaten it. The hazard situation is actually pretty fine. You have decent enough settings because your Ferrothorn is never going to be bad. You have rocks on Lander too. You have T-Spikes on the Specs. Removal wise, you have Lander which can run Defog. You have Cyclozar which can spin very reliably. In a niche case, you have a Mold Breaker, Hawlucha, Defog as well if you need it. And then you have fake ass Mon Cutiefly.
Cutiefly does not count as Defog.
Yeah.
I think the
I think
Defog's
a
fine, by the way.
backup.
Yeah.
I think
But
a
not
backup
counting.
default would
No,
be nice.
not even as backup. I'm sorry, but with respect, you're never running Cutiefly Defog. Literally there to set up Sash, maybe Sunspore. Sorry, not Sash. Where Sunspore Mon and then die. Not doing anything else.
Yeah,
The only reason you're running Cutiefly is to put up webs. That's it.
I think a backup spinner would have been nice.
Yeah, but
I think it's fine.
it's fine.
That's not my flaw with the team, to be honest. Yeah, there's flaws with it, but that's not my flaw in my opinion. I think that's fine. I think Cyclostar Lando can do the job.
Yeah. To the momentum situation, yes, while you have 4 momentum Pokemon on paper, only 2 will run it. Because Lucha never ever runs U-turn, really. Especially in a team where it's a terrain abuser. And Cutiefly's fake.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I guess there may be a one matchup a season where it runs. Oh, I've just noticed nothing for 20 score. Where it runs like choice band, and then maybe it would run Newton on that, but otherwise I can't see it.
Now we get to the part I think you guys were very fucked on. Like, I don't agree at all. The offensive core. It should never be this low when you have that much power on your team. You have Lando T and Gouging Fire, and Halucha in terrain with Sword Sense hits very hard. You can have some niche Cyclozar sets that it can hit, and some niche Ferrothorn sets. And now to the big part is the special side. Yes, it is mainly Lele and Alakazam, which yes, they do struggle into steel types. But you can run special Lando as well, and you have Lando and Gouging Fire to deal with steel types. The big part is you have expanding Force Megazam on this team.
I can see that.
I can see that. Whilst I looked as an overall thing, I think that's what made me rate as high as I did. Without that, I'd be rating it very low. Like,
Yeah.
I think like if you can wall out that special offense, you don't need to worry about anything. You basically the physical offense is handable as well. Like Gouging Fire kind of needs basically like Dragon Dance to get going or Booster. So really physically, and yeah, this is what I mean because we rated other teams lower as well for like basically needing like setup. Cyclone needs setup to get going physically, or Life Orb to even hit like hard. Or Lucha needs setup to get going physically. Gouging, in my opinion, needs setup to go physically. So the only like potent off the bat physical offense is Lando T. Like I don't think it's bad, and that like that's the reason why I rate it.
Yeah, but I think this team should
Not that low.
never be below 7.5 at minimum. Because I think alone having Mega's expanding Force Megazam is threat enough for a lot of teams to just fucking collapse. You also have Lele to hit the dark types, and you have Lando, Gouging Fire, and Halucha all to hit steel types that Zam or Lele will not be able to deal with. And it's not that Lele and Zam cannot deal with. It's not that they can't deal with steel types at all, because they do get both Focus Blast, which is yes inaccurate, but they like if it's, let's say it's just a I don't know, let's say it's what's a regular old steel type? Mega Steelix. That's dying to the Focus Blast.
Yeah, but I also think there's some slight problem. I would say Mega Steelix is on the lower end of good steals. Like Melmetal is a better example, like a top tier one that has a weeks for death.
Yeah, but it will have to run AV or Choppleberry to live those hits, which is already good because you're forcing it into an item.
So I will say this, and this isn't me joking like I was about the Iron Jugglers thing. I am a bit of a Mega Sam hater. I do think it's a bit overrated because I think it is very easy to basically stop it if you a lot of the time. Now don't get me wrong, Lele is one of the ways actually to get around what stops it a lot. But yeah, it's mostly because of like the lack of being able to hit stick. I just didn't like it all being focused on one mon. So like, that's why I rated it as low as I did.
No, I completely agree.
I get where Ben's coming from. If they had a bit more with it, I'd rate it a lot higher, but it just feels like it's very much laser focused, especially on Sam Nuke Button.
Yeah, but
I will say this, it has rated my teams low before when I've had only one no button, so Nuke Button, and it has been a proper nuke.
Yeah, but that's because you suck at using your nukes.
Don't.
Then again, we're not ranking the player, so
Yeah. Anyways, I do think.
Yeah, Ben.
Yeah, Ben.
I do think you guys are being a little critical on this team because it is very obviously a very high it's a high tier draft because they draft a lot. Like most of their Pokemon are above 12 points.
That's fair. I mean, I to be honest, there is reasons why I dislike the team. The defensive, I would say this, the offensive core will probably actually nuke a lot of teams. I will say Mega Sam will probably get 3 wins on its own, in definitely in like Egg. He'll lose to this. He won't have.
Well, yeah,
he'll have
it
an
can
answer.
clutch up like at very pivotal moments, I imagine.
Harry will lose to this.
Hell
Yeah,
no, I will
probably
not
so.
lose to this.
Let me look at Harry's team a minute. Hang on 2 seconds. Go on where Harry's team is. Oh no, Harry. Team
Special
losing to it.
defensive Mew just fucking fucks this guy. What are you on about?
Shadow Ball.
No, that's fine. Yeah, Shadow Ball. Yeah, Shadow Ball.
I mean, I
Let me look
guess.
at Pay. Oh no, Pay. Oh no, actually, Pay. Okay, to be fair, yeah,
Speed
Pay
boost
might
the
be in
Moss
trouble
with
if
Bug
he-
Buzz might just one tap.
Yeah, I mean, I hope so. I mean, depends if you get Carmine up. If you get Carmine up, Mega Sam actually lives it.
I mean, yeah, but
Maybe.
fucking Calm Mind Megazam is disgusting.
Anyways,
Yeah, but it's allowed.
let's jump to the defensive core. The defensive
Why
core
did we unban
consists of Ferrothorn,
Exactly.
Toxapex, and I would say Lando, mostly. Because yes, Gouging Fire can run defensive sets as well, but it likes more being in its setup sweeper role. And yes, Lando on this team is probably preferred as an offensive mon, but it is still a good defensive mon.
It can still take it.
Yeah. Now to some issues with this team. Not having a dark type is obviously something that is an issue on the defensive side, as mentioned before, with the psychic situation, but also the ghost situation. As yes, you have Cyclozar to have an immunity against ghost moves, but if these ghost types have coverage, Cyclozar is not the bulkiest mon alive.
I also even with AV, it still can get 2-shot very easily.
Yeah. Some other issues: you do not have a single flying type resist, so flying types will be very strong into you. And your only ice resist is Toxapex, which will, if there's a freeze dry mon on the opposing team, you will still take a shit ton of that damage from that.
And I say this as someone who's used Toxapex recently, it can be very passive. Like, it doesn't have momentum and it can be very passive. And I did find it very hard to use Toxapex in the current day. Like, it really needs flip turn, I think, in my opinion, to get back to being what it once was.
Yeah,
like I don't get me wrong. Because it's so passive. You have to be very careful with using it.
Yeah, for example, this is like an example Pokemon of that would be very dangerous for his team to deal with. It would be a substitute Kyurem set. A freeze dry and Earth Power.
I see it.
Ben, actually, legitimate question. Let me see let me see if they've got an answer to it.
Does it be Frothorn?
Yeah. Does this get
a few gyro balls?
Yeah, you gyro ball it. You take like 30% from the freeze dry, and then the Kyurem just switches out again, and you don't have natural recovery.
I mean, after a few Leech Seed recovers, maybe.
Yeah, but
but you just don't let it get Elite Seed on. It's fine.
No, yeah.
You're not allowed to click Leech Seed into the Kyurem ever if it has a sub up, because let's say you click Leech Seed and he subs again, you're fucked.
Yeah. So you don't really get free Leech Seed packs. Yeah, but then they bring in a mod that also goes then basically like deals with like what's a fire type that will be paired with its not Cinderace.
I guess the point is there's a lot of like playing around, I guess.
Yeah, and
in that matchup.
Yeah.
I think like into Kyurem actually needs it. And like also as well, something like Toxapex can be very much easily set up on if it doesn't run haze.
Yeah. Like the problem with Toxapex is obviously that it is very passive, and it does allow a lot of Pokemon to just, hey, let me run a substitute, and suddenly your Toxapex is useless.
I mean, haze still goes through sub, right?
Yeah. Oh well.
Yes, it does.
Oh, we're spoiling.
We're spoiling.
I know it goes to sub. I've used haze before. Like that's not even a spoiler.
Yeah,
I've used haze before in some months.
It's less the problem that it has to click haze. It's more the problem that it cannot break the sub.
Yeah, of course.
But yeah, that would be all for Claire's team for now. Like definitely, I think still a little hated on.
Did we do support? Did we do support?
Oh yeah, I guess support. As mentioned before, the Psychic Terrain support is good. The Hazard support is good. Momentum support is obviously not that good. You have some niche Sticky Web support. You don't have Memento, you don't have Heal Bell, but you have Aromatherapy on Lele, which yes, Lele has Aromatherapy for some ungodly reason.
I would just say one other thing, just real quickly now, just because some people might not know this interaction. Hawlucha and Lando T are not protected by the Psychic Terrain when it comes to priority. Just FYI, as well. Well,
Can't
that's
like
an
that.
all neutral benefit. Yeah, because they're off the ground. So anyone off the
Yeah.
ground doesn't get protected by quality.
Lando can get aqua jetted, I guess.
Yeah.
And ice sharded.
Yeah, I mean, the psychic trade still overall helps the team, by the way, because it keeps Mega Sand, from my opinion, being like a 15-pointer and actually makes it a 20-pointer. I think you need psychic trade to make Mega Sand work.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, otherwise you get
Generally,
sucker punch. Needs flipping burgers at McDonald's, like.
Yeah. First impressions.
Yeah, the psychic
That
terrain is
too.
the big support part. You do also have screens. You have some good knockoff users. You have taunters. You also have fast encore, which is pretty nice. You do have T-Wave on 2 mons. One thing to mention though, you don't have Will-O-Wisp at all, and your only way to burn stuff is either Scald from Toxapex or burning Bulwark from Gouging Fire. So,
Which can be played around
I
so
will also
easily.
point out that Mega Sam is not running Thunderwave, I don't think.
Ever.
I don't think you should be running that on it.
It's probably running Psychic or Side Shock depending on the matchup, Shadow Ball, Carmine, and then 4th move slot.
Focus Blast.
Focus Blast.
Yeah, Focus Blast, yeah.
I keep thinking he gets Dazzling Gleam for some reason as well.
Also, it's
I
not
know it
running.
does.
Also, it will not be running
No, it doesn't.
will not be running Psychic or Side Shock because it's probably running Expanding Force.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
right. Expanding Force, yeah.
But yeah.
Well, it might run something. It might actually run Side Shock depending on a matchup. To be fair, that could actually come to a match.
But yeah, I think again a team you guys were a little harsh on, but let's keep going. Next up, we have the Quas Fahim.
I'm not even trying to pronounce that shit.
A GIF logo, funny enough.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Don't get many of them often.
Yeah. Now then, let's get into the team. Typings wise, we're missing Ice and Rock, non-essentials, Grass, nice to have, but not important. Ghost, you do have only 2 fighting type switch-ins, which are 1 Moltres, which is pretty good because it can burn stuff, but a lot of fighting types get rock coverage, so be careful. And Golisopod, as mentioned before, fighting types get rock coverage, so can be nasty, but you have normal type switch-ins, which is not an issue.
Yeah.
You don't have a poison type, so as mentioned before, can be getting very annoying. Yes, you have some ways around it because you have Rachi, Moltres, Scizor, which ignore the poison's status, or the T-spikes at least. You have Milotic, which actually can sometimes benefit from it because of Marvel Scale, and you have Shed Skin Scrafty. The rest of the mons though will be affected.
I think it could be worse. I think it you can also use it to your advantage with Megalopan and run Facade some matchups as well.
Yeah.
As like a tech move.
Yeah. For move slot syndrome though. But, anyways.
Right.
Speed tiers wise, you are.
Ben, did we mention the no fairy type?
Oh, right. Very big thing. You don't have a fairy type. You do have 2
And why is that important, Ben?
Because of dragons. So any dragon can run Outrage or Draco Meteor and just spam that shit. Yes, you do.
I think the plus side sorry, go on.
You might act. It is kind of okay that you don't have a fairy, as you have 2 steel types that can run defensive sets pretty well. But still, it would be ideal to have a fairy, because fairy is also just a very good typing to have.
Agreed.
Anything else you wanted to add to that, Roy?
No. I was going to say it might not be as bad because they do have 2 steel types, and both the steel types get recovery. But you ain't said it, so
yeah. Now to the speed tiers. The speed tiers actually look pretty fine for the most part. The big gap is between Zygarde and Jirachi, because anything between anything 150 to 120 will be running Modest or Adamant, which there is some pretty threatening mons in that tier, so be careful around those. Hazard setting is pretty bad because Dactrio is not coming every game. Golisopod is also not coming every game. Rachi is basically on Rock's duty every game. Removal wise, yes, you have a good Defogger, Moltres, and a good backup Defogger and Scizor. You don't have any other removal though, so that kind of sucks. Momentum situation is actually pretty good though. You have a lot of good momentum. Can't take that away from you.
Yeah, the momentum's great. I think this is a team that gets better as we go along, but the bases are pretty.
Do I
But
hear
there
a
is a
compliment about
massive
Zero Aura?
glaring weakness. There's a massive glaring weakness, in my opinion, on the special offense.
Yeah. Let's get into the better part of the offense first, which is the physical offense. We have Zero Aura, we have Megalopony, we have Dougie in some situations, some Jirachi sets, some Zygarde, Scizor, Golisopod, and very niche Scrafty sets, especially now.
So you want to mention these crafty sets, niche crafty sets, like for example, Dragon Dance.
Yeah.
Or Bulk Up?
Yeah. Now to the
Or Bulk
special offense, though. Your highest special attacking mon is Moltres, and after that it's Zero Aura.
Zero Aura.
And just a little bit off Milotic.
Yeah.
I generally will say this.
A defensive mon.
Moltres, I've used Moltres offensively, but 90% of the time, your best offensive special attacker here is Jirachi. That is a problem. I don't
That
think
is a
there's any.
problem.
Yeah, because Zero is not especially offensive mon. It can. Does it get Carmine? I feel like it gets Carmine for some reason.
I think it does.
Zero
weirdly.
Aura does get Calm Mind, yes.
But its special offense is like Zero Aura Spear, Grass Knot, Focus Mist, and Electric moves.
Yeah.
See, I could cope and say this guy is hoping to run special Jirachi and not be an Ironhead spamming Serene Gracer. But I think that's copium.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's better.
Like
If I was going to suggest one thing to fix it, improve this team, is generally fix some of the physical offenses for special offense. Like swap Zero Aura for a special attack and electric type. Generally,
that would help, yeah. Now then, there is like some niche Milotic sets, some niche Jirachi sets, and some niche Zero Aura sets that can be special offensive. And Moltres, the problem with Moltres being a best special attacker is that Moltres generally prefers to be in a supportive role. Yes, it can hit very hard, but generally its best role is a defensive support mon. Especially since it's also your best defogger on this team.
Yep, and it also has to run heavy duty boots. Now, let's say hypothetically they were facing a team with 0 rocks, that would be something to get away with. But I think there's no team like that in Egg.
Did Mega Glamora team like 4 teams ago?
No, that's what I mean. Yeah, no, but Mega, I think Penis. Well, actually, Penis will just run rock polish and sweep his penis. He won't run the rocks out. He'll just sweep with
The penis never fails.
His penis never fails. He always dicks on everyone.
Yeah, let's get, while you guys talking about other people sweeping this team, let's get into the defensive part of this team. Classified as defensive mons here are Rachi, Moltres, Milotic for sure. And then you have Zygarde sets that can be bulky, you have Scizor sets that can be bulky, Golisopod sets that can be bulky. And obviously we also have the Scrafty, which is more defensive nature than offensive nature, but still be careful because 4 times weakness to Fairy.
I do not rate Golisopod as defensive mon, I can't lie.
Yeah, I'm the same. Like, because you have to run boots, and because it just switches out and doesn't, and you don't even get to use a move sometimes when it switches out, I would take that off. I do think I may have been slightly harsh on the defensive aspect of this team. There is some good defensive mons here, but I wouldn't be counting Glissopods.
I don't think you need Golisopod in this team. You already have a decent water type in Milotic.
Yeah, I think
It's satisfied.
I think Golisopod.
And they like it.
I think the reason Golisopod is here is just because they like Golisopod. I can't see another reason why it is here.
I can kind of rate that, but at the same time, there has to be a line between like wanting it and needing it. You know what I mean?
I'll give them this. It gives them spikes because they don't have spikes elsewhere, so I don't hate it at that much. I'd argue Sarah Orr is the one I'd be changing, to be honest.
I just drop Golisopod and pick up a good spiker.
I mean, you can also just change out both.
Oh yeah, exactly.
But like, I think the way to, because also as well, Sarah Orr gives you more points to switch around. Generally, that is one I'd be changing to like a something specially offensive. Glisopod, it's only a few points. I think it's fine as a spiker. I think there's you could also improve it, like using the points to improve Sarah Aurora to like a special attacker. But I think it's fine for what it's doing.
Yeah. Let's get into some other stuff though. Like weakness wise, we've mentioned before that like Dragon Spam can be bad, but you have 2 steel types, so you can deal with it. You also have enough resistances into most typings for it not to be bad. Like you have electric immunities or resists. You have water resists. Which mostly will follow Milo because Golisopod will not count it often, so be careful around strong water types. And flying looks bad, but it is not as bad as it is because Rachi is a very good flying type switch, and Zero Aura can take a flying hit too if needed be. Not well, but it can take one.
Yeah, that could be a lot worse.
Yeah. To the support section now. Hazard support, as mentioned before, is not that good. Momentum support is pretty good though. You have Encore, you have Fast Encore, you have Memento, you have Healing Wish, you have Heal Bell, you have a lot of Taunt, you have a lot of Knockoff, you have T-Wave, you have Will-O-Wisp, you also have Screens on this team. Generally speaking, the support is pretty good on this team. It also helps that this team has a lot of momentum to get in the big threats like the Mega Lopunny more often.
I think the support's the best part of this team.
Yeah, for sure.
Agreed.
Yeah, but that was Daquas Fahim in number 12.
And we will see how good that team is in action because they play Pate week 1.
Exactly. Next up, we have M Muffins. Roy, why don't you get us started on this one? Because they use Mega Delphox and you use Mega Delphox.
So Mega Delphox is a great mon, and if my thing would load, that'd be fantastic. So I put the team right. So let's start with the basics. So they're only missing 3 types, but it's the 3 types that do not matter: Ice, Rock, and Bug. Fairy type's good. Their Steel type is Kartana, which can be a bit iffy, especially defensively, but we'll get to that later on. Their Ghost type is also Drifloon, but they're fine taking fighting hits, and their Dark type is Darkrai, but they've also got Terapagos, which is the best rapid spinner in the game. Speed tiers, there is a bit of an iffy gap between 85 and 108. Can be a bit of a problem between 85 and 50.
The 85-108 gap is a huge problem, actually.
I thought you could bridge it a lot more with Terapagos Rapid Spin, though.
No, you don't.
I wouldn't.
That doesn't bridge it. It goes over that speed gap. That never bridges.
I mean, I guess, yeah.
And I'd even argue as well, Terapagos often will have quite a lot of bulk, and Drifloon is basically an unburdened bot the 1 or 2 times it'll come a season, because it'll probably come to counter the Psychic Terrain team maybe, and maybe one shot a Mega Sand with Shadow Ball.
I just want to.
But
yeah. Let me just put in perspective how bad that speed gap actually is.
Correct.
Some of the mons that will be running Adamant or Modest: Salamence, Mega Gardevoir, Zapdos Galar, Charizards, Palafin, Chi-Yu, Sandy Shocks, Lando I, Thundurus T, Garchomp, Zarudes, Mienshao, Sharpedo, Monkey Dory, Blacephalon, Iron Treads, all mons that will be running Adamant or Modest into you.
I was about to say we are now getting some very copium mons where we get Monkey Dory sort of that and Sharpedo.
Do not hate on the Monkey Dory.
I will hate on the Monkey Dory. I think it's a bit of a fraud.
It still has 130 special attack. Let's calm down.
You can't scoff at that.
But also something like Enamorous Incarnate.
Yeah. That's a nuke you.
Yeah, these are all mons that you're freely giving a offensive nature to, and you can't really stop it.
Yeah.
So,
and I'd also argue, even going below Drifloon, as well, Drifloon is also your only flying type, which is a bit iffy. You do at least have 2 Levitate mons as well in Eel and Mega Delphox, but yeah, ground hits could be a problem depending on what comes into your team because your grass type is.
One big thing to mention as well about that is that Delphox needs to Mega Evolve before it can be a Levitator.
Correct. Forgot to mention that.
Yeah, which means you steal the rocks and the spike. The rocks and the spikes beforehand. And
unless you run Gravity, you can't steal their Expanding Force. Back to being serious. The hazards, I think, are a bit not great. You've got Scream Tower, which can set rocks. You can do it on Terapagos, but really you'd probably rather have other moves on it. No Spikers, and you've got T-Spikes on Muck. Muck is a mon that comes 2 to 3 times a season. But this is also the downside of having your ground type being Zygarde 10%, because then you don't have any hazards on it. And honestly, is Crocodile still available? Because honestly, Crocodile would fit in great over Zygardes. That gives you rocks and also gives you basically a ground type as well. That sets rocks.
Croak is available.
would actually fit better than Zygarde 10, in my opinion. Going back down the list as well, Defog. I will say this: the hazard removal is carried by having the best rapid spinner in the game, Terrapagos. Katana does not want to run Defog. It can, but at that point, the only way I see running Defog is if you're running Synthesis, Defog, 2 moves, and you're using it to stall out a Dracofish. Generally, a Driftloom can run Defog. Yeah,
very
that's
specific
literally
situation.
I only mentioned because I saw Dracofish earlier, but that's literally it. I don't think you ever run Defog otherwise. The momentum, it's not great. I mean, by not great, I mean, yeah, actually, it's bad. Like it's basically Keldeo and the Eel.
Yeah.
Keldeo, who doesn't run physical.
I think I rated the basics too high on this. Like the more I look at it, I think the basics should be lower and the offense should be higher.
Agreed.
The speed gap and the momentum is really throwing me off.
Yeah, it really is. This is one where you look at it more deeply, and I'm like, yeah, actually, no, this is a lot worse than I thought it was. Sure. Offense?
Yeah, offense. So, physical side, we have Zygarde 10, we have Kartana, and Niche, Eel, and Muk sets. Physically, very bad. Darkrai also has some niche physical offense sets, but it's mostly gonna be Kartana for you in this team and the Zygarde. Especially, it's a lot better though. We have Electros, we have Terrapagos, we have Keldeo, we have Darkrai, and we have Mega Delphox. Especially very, very good physically. Hard carried by Kartana, if we're being real.
Agreed.
Like, generally, one thing I would like in this team as well, which might help it a bit more, is... I mean, Keldeo actually does have it quite a bit with, like, getting around bulky, like, fire types. Kartana helps with, like, the water types. Fairy types is a bit of a... something that can... Actually, no, Katana. I mean, never mind, ignore me. I just remembered... I'm remembering more as I go along. I need sleep today. I think the offense is good.
What I would do on this team, grab a flying type that's physically offensive, and grab a secondary steal, if you can somehow.
Honestly, generally,
Staraptor.
Staraptor
would bridge the gap.
Yeah, I think both of them work.
Staraptor's a great one.
Yeah, I like Staraptor. I went Bravery just because I'm using it and I know it as well. It's got Defiant as well.
I would have said something like Zapdos Galar, but hey.
I think that's probably too expensive to replace the Drifloom.
Yeah, exactly.
As well as the load there.
Let's get into the defensive core now, where there is definitely issues. Because there's only 2 Pokemon you could viably classify as defensive on this team, which are Screamtail and Muk. Yes, Electros can run bulky sets because of its base stats and having no weaknesses, but it's not a end-all be-all mon. Same with Driftbloom. While it has a high HP stats, its defensive stats are very bad. So your next best defensive mon will be Terrapagos.
Which can do it, but ideally you want it to be also the option of like sweeping and killing everything on the field.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like Resto Chesto is a viable set, but you want the versatility with Pagos.
Yeah. And I really want to get into some issues with that this team runs into because of what mons they have chosen for certain typings. For example, your water type is Keldeo. It's only Keldeo. Your ground type is Zygarde. 10%.
Okay.
So not the bulky one. And your steel type is Kartana.
I mean, other than Keldeo, I can massively agree. I think Keldeo is a good mon.
Yes, can also take some hits because 91, 90 isn't bad. But it's not ideal for Keldeo to take hits. You know what I mean?
Agreed.
Like this
team just needs more bulk.
Yeah, like there's also some stuff like, for example, Dark doesn't seem like that big of a weakness until you realize the Dark type switches are Keldeo and Darkrai.
Unironically, drop Keldeo, pick up Poliwrath.
No.
Don't. Keldeo is good on this team. I think, honestly the Psycho 10% I don't like here.
Yeah. Your only flying type switching on this team is also Electros. Yes, it's a pretty decent flying type switch, but do you want to bring Electros to every match just because you suck into flying types?
And Electros isn't particularly fast either. It's a very weird mon.
Electros has something that we call Gen 3 syndrome. It is not fast, and it is not bulky. It's just a mixed attacker.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'd think this
Like-
motherfucker came on Gen 3, but no, it's a Gen 5 mon.
Yeah.
Generally, it'd be better if it was more physical. If they put like basically some of the special attack into like its physical offense or its defensive stats, it'd be a lot better mon.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, like defensively, this team is like a big mess because yes, most of your Pokemon can take a hit, but can they take more than one? And then like your Steel type is Kartana, which will blow up to any special move in the game, even resisted ones. And
Like you can run Samurott Hisui and click a vacuum wave into it, for example, and two-shot it
Yeah.
whilst running admin.
yeah, like this team has so many defensive struggles that I personally really hate this team defensively. I don't fuck with it at all because it's basically Screamtail. Because the other mons like Muk, Driftbloom, and Electros are situational mons that should not be coming every game.
Agreed.
Early in Egg Division.
Only in Egg Division. Now to support. Support-wise, as mentioned before, the hazard support is not that good. Momentum support is not good. Removal support is good. You have fast encores, you have Memento. You do not have Heal Bell or Aromatherapy, which sucks. You have Taunt, some good taunters. You have Knockoff. On some months, even very good Knockoff. Will-O-Wisp, you have T-Wave, you have Screens, and you have Wish Passing, which does help here because the nature of the team does require Wish Passing for sure because a lot of the Pokemon don't recover. Actually, the only mon that recovers is Screamtail and Delphox. Why are you running Wish on Delphox? On your Mega Delphox, especially?
Well, yeah. Delphox is already going to be like locked in on like 3 moves and like 1 setup most of the time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, support. If you're gonna play an offensive team like that, the 2 support categories that you want to be very good on are hazards and momentum. And you have neither, really.
Which kind of,
This might
discredits this team.
Yeah.
this might be another team I would probably put down. I actually in hindsight would put a bit lower than actually Claire and like Togman's team. Maybe even Mart's actually.
Yeah, but Roy's a big hater, so we move.
This is why you don't draft Iron Jugglers. If you want good PRs, you don't draft Iron Jugglers.
Exactly.
Next up, we have Connor Randall.
And this guy's great. This guy's got a Beware logo. What a good guy. Great person.
Shame his speed his stink.
Yeah, let's get into it.
Yeah.
So this
Unfortunately. It does.
this guy's missing a rock type, which is non-essential. You're missing a normal type, which is fine on this team because your dark type is Ting motherfucking Lu.
Yep.
Doesn't have your 3 weaknesses still though.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Problems. We don't have a flying type. So ground spam can be pretty bad. You do have a Levitator, and you have Ogerpon Wellspring. Both not very defensive Pokemon though, so be very careful around ground type. And you don't have a grounded poison type. Why is it bad on this team? Look at this team and don't tell me Toxic is very fucking annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, generally, one of the ways to get around like Annihilate is the Toxicate. And actually, Alamola, Ting Lu, you are going to want boots on a lot of mons here
Yeah,
because of this.
Yeah. Considering as well that your removal's pretty shit. It is like T-spikes are so fucking bad into this team. You will have to run boot spam on this team, which just takes away opportunities for your team to do other stuff.
Well, Avalug's a decent rapid spinner. It's just not enough.
Yeah, but how often do you want to run pure ice type, non-terrible Avalugg?
So let me say this on this. Okay, generally, the Connor has said he really loves Avalugg. So I think Avalugg will be coming more than it should.
I
But when
do also
Avalog's
really
your
like
only,
Avalog.
I am right. So I thought I was an Avalog basic because I actually like Avalog. It walls side guard, for example. It don't make special moves, but it does wall side guard. It has actually single-handedly won me games before. Like if it's your only real spin, because I'm not counting. I don't think Latios is really a defogger. That is a problem. Even as a lug enthusiast, lugging all day long, you need another one. You need
You need
another
another
one. You
spinner,
can't
yeah.
rely on lug.
I love Avalog as much as the next guy. I love Avalog Hisui as much as the next guy. I fucking love those mons. But like only having that as your only option, like any special attacking stealth rocking mon just goes to town.
Terrapagos,
Pagos, yeah, fucking Pagos raps. Like it's not that great.
Sandy Sharks,
Yep.
Nido King,
Yep. Need a queen.
Nido Queen,
Yeah, this
Green Tail probably 2-hit KOs actually. To be fair,
let's get
It probably does.
let's get into the other parts of the basics. As mentioned before, we have huge issues with the speed tiers. Why? Your fastest mon is Latios. That
And Ogerpon.
is... Yeah, Latios and Ogerpon, Wellspring being your fastest mons, is a huge issue. Why? Because everything faster than Latios, and let me tell you, there is some huge threats faster than Latios, will be running Adamant and Modest.
Moon, Spectria, Lopunny, just to name like a small selection.
Yeah.
Mega Delphox, Mega Lopunny,
Some
Mega
other,
Floette.
some other stuff.
Oh, you've got it
mentioned as
actually.
well.
Also, Mega Flet's slower than Latios, by the way.
Everything below Annihilate will also be running Adamant and Modest.
I was thinking Fluttermane.
They'd also counter as well. Unless you're running Scarf Annihilate, a lot of the time it doesn't run speed. So really, it's Typhlosion Hisui that's actually the one that you're up there, because Annihilate, I've often run Annihilate, and I'll bulk it the fuck out. I'm not running any speed on it.
Yeah, so...
Exactly, it's max health, max attack a lot of the time.
So yeah, it's huge issues on the speed tier department. Hazard setting is never going to be asked because you have Tinglu. And you have a backup rocker and a backup spiker. You don't have T-spikes yourselves, which sucks because, as we've seen before, some teams here don't have a poison type, yours included. The removal, you also have webs, to be fair. Webs can be cool on this team.
I was gonna mention, webs do actually help the team a bit as well, because it does help the speed problem.
Now, huge issue is the removal. Why? Your rapid spinners, Avalog, which should at most be coming to 2 or 3 games. Maximum. And your defogger is Latios. Why is that an issue? Latios is an offensive Pokemon. Latios has something called 4 move slot syndrome. A shit ton of it.
A lot of it, yeah.
Because Latios wants Draco, it wants Luster Purge, it wants Ice Beam, it wants T-Bolt, it wants Calm Mind, it wants Recover, it wants Flip Turn, it wants Mystical Fire. So yeah, have good luck fitting defog on that.
Yeah.
The momentum situation is actually pretty decent. You have 2 U-turns, 2 flip turns, and a Volt Switcher, so that's actually pretty okay. But
And there were ones that actually like running it as well.
Yeah, but the rest of the basics are, in my opinion, pretty horrendous.
Agreed.
Like,
yeah,
how is this a 4.5? And this a 4?
Look,
they
you've
have
been over this,
they
Ben.
lose 5 points.
Exactly.
Listen, listen, Mark, if you're watching this, I do apologise. I clearly thought it was Pate's team, hence why I was rating it so low.
Yeah, we were both hallucinating. We thought it said Pate, big words.
Yeah, we supposed to Pate, and we had to put the Pate tax on.
Exactly. Sorry, man.
Now then, let's get...
I'm just going to be hating on my ranking for the whole video now as well.
Let's get into the offensive part. Physically, we have Ogerpon, Wellspring, we have Annihilate, we have Soniche, Tinglu, and Avalok sets, and we have Melmetal. Especially, we have Latios, we have Galvantula, we have Mega Flowhead, we have Typhlosion Hisui. Overall, not bad offense, but a little overrated in my opinion.
The offense is fine. I think the offense is good overall. Like, I actually think it's one of the things that actually is good on this team. Yes, it is a bit. There is a bit too set on someone's, but I do think the offense is the best part of it.
I disagree. Because I think the best part is the support, which I will get into when we get there, though.
That's fair.
Now then, for defensive purposes, we have Tinglu, Melmetal, Avalugg, Alomomola. Very, very good quality defensive Pokemon, except for Avalugg, but Avalugg's here for a few games anyways only.
Honestly, you probably get away with running an AV Avalugg on this team.
No, you
No,
don't want to
because-
run AV because you then lose
because
out
you need
recover.
Well,
I mean, I agree.
And you need boots, but
yeah, you need boots. I don't think you
Yeah, no, fair enough.
You don't necessarily need recover because of the next part I'm mentioning, which is support. Because Alomomola is huge on this team.
it's fantastic on this team.
Yeah, it is
It's
fantastic.
the backbone, the spine. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is where round 3 Aloe is justified. Siri, don't kill me and call me a H word. Thank you.
The H word.
Wish Aloe is huge here. Why? Annihilate loves having its HP reset because of Rage Fist. Tinglu doesn't have recovery, so hey, help that out. Mammoth doesn't have recovery, hey, help that out. You can run AV or non-recover Avalugg sometimes. You also help something like the Latios in a pinch when you have more for Moonslot Syndrome and can run like a recover. Another part that is very good about the support is here that you obviously have some decent hazard setting support with the Tinglu, which helps the team's nature, because this team is probably going to play in a way where it's going to whittle you down with the defensive options just to sweep with one of the offensive options later. And there's also like, yes, the momentum could be a little better for such a team then, but it's pretty fine because you have a lot of defensive Pokemon that can just switch in no matter what sometimes. You have a Memento. You don't have Aromatherapy, which can be a bone to this team because, hey, Toxic Spikes, as mentioned before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You do have good Taunters. You have solid knockoffers. You only have one Will-O-Wisp Pokemon, but it actually likes running Will-O-Wisp sometimes because of the Infernal Parade set. You have T-Wave. You also have Screens. And another big part about the support is the Sticky Webs, because the Sticky Webs help this rather slow team actually outspeed some stuff.
I will say this: Infernal Parade did get buffed as well in power slightly as well in Champions.
It did by 5, I believe.
Yeah, so it's same power as Hex now,
Which is good.
whilst also a chance to burn itself.
Which is a really good move.
Yeah.
So, what does this team excel at? This team excels at whittling you down and keeping it self-sustained with the Alomomola. This team does not succeed at a lot of other things. The Mega Fluid and the Annihilate on a semi-slow team, we've seen that somewhere before. Gamer not found. And you actually have offensive
We love
pieces.
you, gamer.
You actually have offensive pieces to back them up.
Gamer's a stall player. We accept who he is.
There is some glaring issues, and especially the poison type situation needs to be fixed. And I think if that is fixed, the team will work a lot better, because T-Spikes right now will force you into boot spam way too much.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is Connor's team at number 10. At number 9, we have Ghostman. And
Fire name, by the way.
I just want to say, 3-point gap between those two.
We're getting onto the pretty good teams now, I dare say.
Yeah. Now, let's get into it. Typings-wise, we have everything except the rock type, which rock is never essential. We do have to consider, though, your normal type is SMEARGLE.
SMEARGLE.
And your dark type is Weavile, so Ghost Spam is very good into you.
I'd
Agreed.
also point out as well, two teams in this year have drafted Wobbuffet.
Yeah, weird.
Not to be slept on, I guess.
I've never actually seen Wobbuffet drafted until this season.
It's a cheese mod, that's all it is. I mean,
You bring it in, you collect Destiny Bond.
There's a reason the favorite nickname of Wobbuffet everywhere is Dick Cheese.
But Penis doesn't draft cheese. Penis and cheese is a bad combination.
Anyways, you have like the quality of your Ghost Spam is very viable into you, so be careful around that. HP tiers wise, you're actually pretty good because you fill most of your gaps very well. So no issue there. Hazard setting is pretty good. Hazard removal, it's only default, so you will never have your own hazard stay up if you want to remove. But you have some very
Actually, technically, they do have rapid spin on SMEARGLE.
Shut the fuck up.
And mortal spin on SMEARGLE.
I mean, he's not wrong.
I mean, the hazard SMEARGLE is more there to set up hazards. Click a spore, set sticky webs, just click Ceaseless Edge or whatever Cleavor's move is called, Stone Axe.
Or
Yes.
population bomb.
Come on, Roy. Come on, Roy.
Sorry, okay. Right, I will say that
you're
you
telling
can
me
run mortal.
population bomb of a 20 attack stat is gonna scare anybody.
It's a random bats
maybe.
demon.
Being serious, I think it can run mortal spin as a way to poison and also remove. So that is an option. That one is actually more serious. I do think mortal spin is that you can run.
Yeah. While you don't have a rapid spinner, your removal situation actually isn't that bad because you have arguably the best defogger in the game in Corviknight. You have Rotom Wash, which is a good backup, and in these situations, even Volcarona can run it.
What do you think, Hamburger?
Oh, Jesus. Okay, right. We're in egg. We're mid-table. Weavile, good speed. Gengar's a bit of a fraud, but you can make it work. I've seen some creative sets. Chomp's always good. Hazards are a bit weird. Clef doesn't mind running Stealth Rocks, but he doesn't always want to run it. He likes to run more of Calm Mind or fully defensive. Wash is a good fogger. Mega Heracross is fun. And you got SMEARGLE for webs and just general annoyance. Oh wow, I just looked at the bottom half. Wow, there's a very interestingly defensive team with the Amoonguss, the Clef, and the Corv.
Yeah.
Wobbuffet's a bit strange, but is this the second draft I've seen with Wobbuffet? Did someone draft that in a different one?
Wow, that's really funny.
We've also mentioned that before.
They just mentioned that 2 minutes ago.
Oh, sorry, my bad, Clodcast.
That's all good. I repeat, Joe, try to get to Tentacruel.
Yeah.
Hey man, you've not made a 6-7 joke yet, so you're in the clear.
It might sound weird, but your special attack is a bit weak because Gengar is a bit fraudulent, and Volcarona obviously likes to set up, and I believe every team in this division has hazards, so we'll probably have to run boots most weeks.
Except for Penis.
I mean, we want to be real, a lot of teams don't have good hazards.
Penis just has Mega Glamora, Ham.
Hey, that is rocks. That's rocks.
Offensive Mega Glamora, do I mention?
Which I've seen do nothing so far, by the way.
It's only been week 1. Give it time,
I will say this. I did see a Mega Glamora get kills in a matchup this season already.
Okay. Anyway, yeah. Your special attack is a little weak. Is my thing.
I agree.
Anyway, go.
I wasn't done with basics yet, but hey, good job, Ham.
How was I supposed to know?
Yeah, to be fair,
you should have watched the recording.
Roy just threw you into the fucking cold water and said, "Go ahead."
Sorry, go on.
Swim, Ham, swim.
I mean, everything he said was good.
Yeah. For the last part of the basics that I didn't mention yet, the momentum situation is actually pretty bad because Volcarona doesn't run U-turn that often. So it's basically Clef, Corv, and Rotom, which is all slow momentum, so good, but the rest of your team does not momentum at all.
Actually, you are incorrect. Clefable gets teleport.
I did say,
he said that.
I did say Clef, Corv, and Rotom. Roy.
Oh, you also forgot SMEARGLE U-turn.
That's true.
Fortunately, it's true, yeah.
I will not get rage baited by the SMEARGLE allegations.
You're underrating it, Ben.
I will say this: Mortal Spin, U-turn, Ceaseless Edge and Population Bomb is a legitimate set.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
I stand by Mortal Spin being legitimate.
Another basic that's maybe slightly dipping into offense I see is unless you run a Scarf Rotom, you're gonna struggle for a fast pivot that you're gonna want to put in.
Yeah.
If you kill something with what are your pivot moves, for example, chucking Weavile in is difficult because it doesn't have a pivot move. Chucking Gengar in is difficult because it doesn't have a pivot move. Chucking Garchomp is difficult, etc. So you will struggle a little bit with some.
SMEARGLE's not going to work with Choice Scarf U-turn, so you can't do that.
That is true.
Oh my god.
Roy is just here to rage bait me today, I feel like, because
I am.
he fucks up the whole rankings of Egg just because he's a hater, and then he's here to rage bait me with SMEARGLE now.
They should have drafted Iron Jugglers.
True that.
Anyways, to the offensive core. As mentioned before, we don't have fast U-turn, and Ham has mentioned why fast U-turn sometimes is good. Physically though, we have Weavile, we have Garchomp, and we have Mega Heracross, some very good physical attacks. We have some niche Corviknight sets as well that can work. And especially we have Gengar and Volcarona, which, yes, Ham has mentioned some fraudulent allegations there about Gengar, but I disagree, I love Gengar. And Volcarona is some...
Clefable can be like that.
Yeah.
I wonder what makes you love Gengar so much. Looks at profile picture.
Hey. So there's some niche Clefable sets with Magic Art Life Orb, of course, that can work.
Yeah, to be fair, I was underrating Clef a bit in that because you've got Chomp for rocks, which isn't too bad, so you can run Carmine Life Orb, which hits. It's like a sheer force one almost, where you forget how hard it'll hit because Life Orb doesn't take the recoil.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I also point out the momentum problem is a bit of a weakness because Mega Heracross loves good momentum to get it in, so you can start breaking shit.
Yeah. One more thing to mention on this special offensive category is the Rotom Wash, because it can run nasty plot sets here, and might actually in some weeks as well.
Agreed.
That's quite nasty.
That actually works quite well on this team.
Yeah. To the defensive situation. So mons that can be classified as defensive here are Amoonguss, Clefable, Corviknight, and Rotom Wash. The rest, and Garchomp of course too. The rest I would not call defensive Pokemon because, yes, Wobbuffet has a huge HP set, but all Wobbuffet does is counter, Mirror Coat, Encore, and Destiny Bond.
That's pretty defensive, to be fair. It's just shit defensive.
I mean, shit, it's the definition of defensive.
It's a very different kind of defensive.
It's a very different kind of offensive defense.
Yeah, exactly.
The best offense is a great defense.
You said the same shit about the last Wobbuffet teams, Harry.
Which was that in Pooper or in Wooper?
I think it was in Pooper. I don't remember.
I'll say for one of the Woopers. I don't remember which.
Wobbuffet can be good, but you have to use it incredibly carefully.
Yeah.
I think if it's going to work in egg division, it's going to work in egg because there's some players who won't know how to counter it.
You get the other issue though of it being tough to position and use at just the right time as well. So, but yeah. with the right pilot, Wobbuffet can.
Where have I landed? I am now in a call with 3 yapping Brits.
Wow.
We're not even halfway. We're nearly approaching 2 hours. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Hell.
We're at 1.5 hours and we're on team number 9.
We get to complain about Harry's team next. I'm excited.
Look, let me do the basics for my team. I think I know what went wrong with my team. Yeah, exactly. Let's get through this one first, though.
Okay, let me just run it down real quick. So, defensive core consists of Amoonguss, Clefable, Corviknight, and Rotom Wash. Pretty good defensive core, actually, because they don't share a lot of weaknesses. And most of them get good natural recovery, except for Rotom. But the Clefable can support the Rotom in that case, because Wish support exists. Garchomp most of the time will more be in a hazard setting or offensive role in this team, I fear. That's why I don't mention. I'm not mentioning it right now. Onto support, Wish support, as mentioned before, it can be very helpful for something like the Rotom Wash or the Garchomp to get them back up if you are running them defensive. The hazard support is pretty decent. Momentum support, as mentioned before, is pretty bad because no fast momentum is bad, as Ham mentioned before, for certain reasons. But you have a lot of slow support, so you can help with that. You do have Heal Bell, you have Healing Wish, you have Taunt, you have Knockoff, you have Will-O-Wisp, you have T-Wave, and you have dual screens. So yeah, generally speaking, this team...
And you can add +1 to everything of those to his SMEARGLE.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. The support here is one of its better aspects.
Yeah.
A little better pivoting, especially because you have Mega Hero, I think would be appreciated.
Yeah.
And not even trolling this time as well. You can technically do the SMEARGLE Healing Wish because while it has no HP stat, that will recover 1 1 to 4, and that would really help this team. And it's
genuinely like a Splash SMEARGLE or a Scarf SMEARGLE with like Spore Healing Wish isn't awful every time.
Yeah,
especially in a lower division where people are going to be less inclined to take advantage of a mod like that.
Yeah, the big part
And you
about
can put population on the path move.
Don't get rage baited, don't get rage baited, don't get rage baited.
I mean, it's boosted by technician, doesn't it?
Oh, you're gonna put last move. Actually, no. You put seismic toss. You put seismic toss because it actually does damage.
Oh wow, he's actually remembered. Wow.
The one
He's
thing
improving.
The one thing I did want to say though is that the main part is also SMEARGLE will set up sticky webs that can help this team in the speed department.
Definitely.
That's a good shout as well.
Yeah,
Like on these list and stone acts are very handy in some matchups because it stops them basically getting around like hazards by way taunting them.
yeah. But yeah, that is.
I think of all teams, this is quite a good SMEARGLE team.
Yeah.
Is what.
Yeah.
I definitely
put
put something else over Wobbuffet, but
Also,
it is the
also
I
a better ghost type switching is definitely appreciated.
oh god,
Agreed. Yeah, because the ghost is quite bad.
Oh dear.
But yeah, that is
Sucker Punch
Ghostman's
not
team
doing that.
at number 9. Now then, Harry, go on your rant.
All right, so in terms of basics, I'm not missing any crucial types because Ice and Rock are mandatory, as previously mentioned about 50,000 quadrillion times over. My speed tiers aren't miserable. You know, my fastest mon's Roaring Moon, so anything in the 130s is kind of iffy. I mean, I've got boost speed, but like on a Moon and Moth, but like
No, your speed
can
tiers are
be
good. That's not an
dangerous.
issue. Go on.
No, I think everything above that is a bit of an issue because like it forces me into like Scarf and anyway, I'm getting off topic. My rockers aren't awful. I've got Mew who fits into too many categories. I've got Mega Steelix. I've got Lando. Spikes again, Mew. Toxic Spikes. Moth can come. Not going to a lot of the time, but it can. And my spinner is Serena. My defoggers are Lando and Mew, which aren't miserable, but then again, I'm fitting Mew into too many categories, which is really bad because Mew is a mon that wants to be versatile and not forced into categories. I think what goes wrong on this team is, again, the fact I'm expending Mew in the basics, and we're not even mentioning the offensive and defensive yet, and Mew's already being expended pretty heavily.
Yeah. One thing to mention.
I also say you forgot Sticky Web or Beetle.
Yeah, Sticky Web.
True, I forgot Sticky Web or Beetle. Sorry.
One very good thing about your basics though is the amount of momentum you have, because you have a lot of momentum, and some slow momentum as well, which helps get your offensive threats in more.
But yeah, I got slow Prim, I've got slow Serena, slow Orbital, slow fucking... Oh no, that's it. But like,
Are we pretending Orbi is a real mon today? Is that...
You can tell screens... Have you seen his defensive stats? It's not awful.
It will come to 2 matchups and it will set screen, sticky webs, or it might set gravity for Lando Eye.
I didn't even...
Yeah.
You're spoiling. You're spoiling.
Onto the offensive part of Harry's team. Physically, we have Roaring Moon, we have some niche Lando sets, we have Serena, Mega Steelix, and some niche Mew sets. Although
you forgot Hands.
Oh yeah, Iron Hand. Sorry, a huge one. One thing to mention though, while I'm mentioning Mew in this category, Mew will rarely be used in this category because by the nature of Harry's team, Mew is there to be a sacrificial lamb.
It's like banning of Isaac.
Now to the special.
You guess Dragon Dance Toad, don't it?
It does
get Dragon Dance, but yeah, I don't
often...
think you're bringing Mew offensively on this team physically. Like you've got enough where you don't need to do that. To be honest, I think.
Yeah. Also, how often are you allowed to run that offensive Mew?
No, I agree because I am expending it more in like a defensive sort of supportive role.
I also think if you do bring offensive Mew physically, you'll want Swords Dance instead of Dragon Dance.
Okay, I didn't know if it got Swords Dance. I don't want to say something where I was just wrong. That's why I didn't say originally.
Mew gets most moves.
Mew is... I know it does.
Now then, to the special attacking part. We have Iron Moth, we have Lando Eye, we have some Miss Magia sets, some niche Mew sets, and the Primarina. So offensive-wise, you're definitely stacked. Like you have great threats physically and specially. That should not be an issue. The defensive core is where there is a little bit of an issue for you because, yes, while you have some defensive mons, most of them do not have any natural recovery except for Serena and Mew.
Kangaskhan. I will count it.
Yes, Kangaskhan.
And Serena.
Does it? Does Kangaskhan
It gets Wish.
It gets Wish.
Yeah, it gets Wish.
It gets Wish.
Yes.
Yeah, no, it gets Wish, doesn't it? Like, it's actually why it's a good mon.
Kanga gets Wish. Serena gets Synthesis. Iron Hands, I guess, gets fucking Drain Punch.
Drain Punch is not reliable recovery.
I know it's not reliable, but it
don't-
is a recovery. I meant.
albeit does get like to recover as well if we can. That Kangaskhan, to be honest, is got good wish. Like 105 HP is big wish.
No, it had wish. Okay.
And it puts it up
Yeah,
to
no,
what,
quite big.
400 health on max, roughly, give or take?
420 something.
Which makes
But
it a
that's
decent
his
wish
way of
caster.
building up, like.
Now, to mention the defensive part a little bit more, monster could be like classified as solely defensive are Mega Steelix, Primarina, Serena, and Mew. Because Kangaskhan is a little iffy because it is not, while its defensive stats are not bad, it is not known to be a defensive Pokemon. And yes, Orbeetle also has good defensive stats, but its HP stat is horrible.
It is,
And
but
also
it
it's a
does
bug
get
type,
both screens.
so it gets killed quite easily.
Yeah, I agree. It does also get both screens, which makes it somewhat a little bit more reliable on the defensive side. But I get it. It is a very frail mon in the HP stat.
Honestly, albeit if it comes, it's there to set screens and add webs and die.
Yeah.
Look, I
maybe
won't even lie.
gravity.
I've dropped it already in my draft plans. So
Understandable. Yeah, understandable. It's
I
not.
told you, not
so
right
I was
one.
just like,
It-
I need a
honestly-
2-point mon, and I asked around. I was like, everyone got a decent 2-point recommendation, and some guys said Orbeetle, and I was like, yeah, okay, fuck it.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, Orbeetle is basically more expensive than Dottler, and also I think Dottler might actually arguably be better value for 1 point.
Yeah, because it has Eviolite. But
Yeah, Iron Defense Body Press legit.
Orbeetle is legit. Not Orbeetle. Dottler is legit. Orbeetle is not.
Guys, Iron Defense Body Press. So
Okay, anyways, guys, before we get into more Orbeetle
I'd
talk,
love to see Ben in a low tier league. Holy shit.
Ben would hate that.
Now then, to support. Support-wise, we will obviously always have at least a 6 because we have Mew. Mew is a very good supportive mon because of the amount of moves it gets. We also have some other support stuff. Like our momentum support is good, our hazard support is decent. We have Encore, we have Memento, we have Healing Wish, we have Heal Bell, we have a lot of taunt, we have a lot of good knockoff as well. We have Will-O-Wisp, we have T-Wave. We also have Wish Passing, as mentioned before, from the Kangaskhan, which actually helps this team a lot because the only mon that has a higher HP set than Kangaskhan is Iron Hands. And as mentioned before, some mons don't get natural recovery like the Prim and Steelix, and they appreciate the Wish. Although the Kangaskhan should not come that often. Let me make that clear.
Hey man, you didn't see my PWC Delmize run and Hitmonchan run. All I'm saying.
Unless you
Unless you
change it to Mega Kangaskhan, then it might come more.
Hell no, I've got a bet with Steelix. I'm making that shit mega.
But one more thing to mention on the support, which is obviously helps this team a little bit, because the team's fastest mon is Roymoon. The Sticky Web support is actually pretty good. And the screen support actually also helps something like Roymoon set up more easy.
Shame
Or
Doctor.
Mega Steelix on the special side, I guess.
Yeah.
I guess.
Honestly, light screen is quite helpful for this team as well. Like generally, because
I
a
agree.
lot of the best mons here probably could do with a light screen sometimes, like defensively. I would like to add also as well. I do think the hazard removals are fairly iffy, even as a Serena fan, because you don't want to run default Lando Eye. You want to run, I'm going to kill all your mons Lando Eye.
Yeah, I completely agree. Your hazard is because Mew is already, as we've said about 5 times, being stretched thin.
Mew has the biggest 4-move slot syndrome ever.
Yeah.
So
Right. It does.
That's enough
Unfortunately.
back to Ragebaiting ban.
Yeah.
Go on then.
Now then, that is Harry's team at number 9. Number 8, I meant, sorry. At number 7, we have Patrick.
I help make this team a bit as
my
well.
dear co-owner Patrick. Let me get into this team. So, typings-wise, we're missing rock and bug, non-essential. We are missing fire, which, as mentioned before, can be nice for offensive purposes and fairy resist, but you have enough of that. And we're missing a ghost type, which can be nice for fighting resist and normal resist, but you have enough of those, so not an issue. Speed tiers-wise, actually pretty good, no big gaps, except for the one between Mammothswine and Earthworm, but it's a gap where most mons will run Modest or Adamant anyways. Hazard setting is very...
And Earthworm's an unmon. Like, for context as well, what happened in this team, Earthworm was drafted because we had 2 spare points, and I was like, oh, if I could get another rocker and spiker, it might come to a game.
Yeah. Hazard setting is actually pretty good. You have enough of everything hazard-wise, so you can stretch out where you want to have it placed. Removal-wise, also very good. You have that Zapdos as a defogger, which is a great defogger, and Tentacruel, which is a good spinner. You also have Defog Mega Latios, but let's be honest, Latios is already stretched out with 4 move slot syndrome, so it's probably never running it. Your momentum is also pretty good. You have momentum on 5 mons, so having 5 out of 10 mons momentum is pretty good. Now then, to the offensive core. Physically, we have Meowscarada, some Mega Latios sets, because yes, 130 attack set Dragon Dance is scary. Urshifu, Mamoswine, and some the Dunsparce sets. Especially we
Save a line, Roy.
All from gets Iron Defense Body Press.
No, fucking Swords Dance Tentacruel, Roy. God damn it.
Oh yeah, Swords Dance Tentacruel. Pay, if you run Swords Dance Tentacruel, I'm not helping you for the rest of the season. Don't run that. You're not gamer. You're not gamer.
Now then, the special side is more of a problem because while yes, we have Mega Latios and Zapdos, otherwise it's looking pretty grim. Your next best special attacker is probably the Dunsparce.
That's really
Boom
bad.
Yeah.
can hit hard. Like Boomers can legitimately hit hard.
Oh no! This special attack is bad.
Yeah, it's gonna be relying a lot on Mega Latios, which kind of sucks because you want Mega Latios to be in a spot where it can run physical if needed be, because its physical attack set is also pretty high. And your next best special attacker is Zapdos, which is more and better used as a defensive piece than an offensive piece.
You're also relying on the Dunsparce to be running a Throat Spray if you want to use it as a special attacker, I guess.
You can use it. You can do Carmine.
Oh, that too.
You can also, if you're really pushing it, do Nasty Plot on either Meow or Pheasantipity, but both of them are very niche matchups for that to work.
Yeah, exactly. So
Yeah,
agreed.
The physical side is very good. The special side is stretched a little thin.
I got one issue with the physical side, is that you've got both Meowscarada and Urshifu Rapid, both of whom are not a fan of Rocky Helmet.
Yes.
Yeah.
And yeah, so that is a little rough. But you do have decent knockers, so it's not the end of the world, but just something to
And
be
they have
cautious of.
Mamoswine, which gets kills for days if Pate uses it rightly.
Yeah.
Kills for days.
If Pate uses
And
it
especially
rightly.
as you've only really got what I'd call one's good, the real specialist Akmon that's item locked.
Yeah.
You know, you're not going to be forcing people into running AV very much. They're going to be able to invest in a lot of Fizz Def, which
Yeah.
I will
Meowth
say this.
it with.
I have looked at some teams, and there are some teams which Zapdos will actually nuke if you run it offensively. So I think,
Gotta hit
the special
Hurricane,
offense is a weakness. But yeah, Pate will hit. Pate never gets unlucky. Pate will
Okay.
hit. It's fine. But being serious, like the special attacking on Zapdos, I think people do sometimes default to just running the same Zapdos set when it can come offensively, can do both. Even I'm guilty of doing it. But the special offense is a weakness.
Yeah.
I do agree.
Talking about the defensive core next, the defensive core consists of Tinkaton, Tentacruel, Zapdos, and Pheasantipity, and to some extent also the Dunsparce and Earthworm. I would say it's not a bad defensive core, as you don't have any big fat weaknesses on the defensive spread. You have switch-ins to most things, so you don't have to worry. It's more the recovery part of your defense is pretty bad, because your only reliable recovery mons are the Dunsparce and Zapdos. The rest do not get recovery at all because.
Fez gets Roost.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, right. I forgot Fez gets Roost. So you have 3, so could be actually is a little better. Earthworm relies on Earth Eater to recover though, and Tinkaton obviously does not have anything to recover.
Yeah, I will say this
worried.
generally on this team. I don't really count Orphan as a mon on this team. Orphan, in my opinion, it's there for one matchup maybe with a certain mon called Psyguard, and just set spikes and hazards. I would say it's basically a 9-mon draft, but we just had 2 points spare at the end, so we just grabbed Orphan. Just have extra hazards.
I've got quite a big issue defensively. Is your Fizz Def is quite bad here.
Yes.
Yeah.
I can agree, yeah.
Tankiest mon is what? Urshifu Rapid? Maybe the Dunsparce?
Yeah, because we're not counting Orphan as a mon. I agree with that.
Yeah.
The Dunsparce or Mammo's probably the tankiest, and that's iffy. Maybe Fez.
Zapdos can also be tanky, but it's still very iffy as well.
Yeah. Zapdos is a good soft check. You need a higher. Just sometimes you need the higher stats. Zapdos
exactly.
is good typing wise, but if you just got something that's gonna raw hit you, like some of the new megas especially, you're gonna have a bit of a rough time.
Yeah, like
exactly, yeah.
The problem with your physical defense is the highest the highest physical defense after Earthworm comes from Urshifu, Rapid Strike, and Megaladios.
Yeah.
So physical moves.
This is a more offensive team, like in my opinion. Like I think there is definitely some flaws with it. Like I think it's a good team overall, but I also do think there is some flaws with it. And I think the physical defense is a problem. The Dunsparce might have to put up numbers like as a bulky mon.
Yeah.
You'll
Definitely.
have to try. That's for certain.
Yeah. Yes, Zapdos does scare some physical attackers off with static, so some will be running pads and stuff. But as mentioned before by Hamburger, while Zapdos is a good soft check into a lot of physical attackers, it is not a hard check because it's only that good defensively because of its typing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah.
Next up to the support category, though. Two good things about the support on this team is that it has good momentum and a lot of hazards, which on an offensive-minded team like this is actually very beneficial. You do have Encore Memento. You don't have Aromatherapy or Heal Bell, which can sometimes be nasty because, like, status will stay. You also don't have any Will-O-Wisp mon, so your burns are reliant on, like, off-chance burns from, like, Scald's Heat Waves or stuff. So that kind of sucks because you cannot cripple physical attackers that we have mentioned before are very strong into your team.
And I think the main fire type, I think it's basically Skullbirds and Tentacruel, and Pheasantipty get Heat Wave, but Pheasantipty a lot of the time is going to be toxic in them, but because of Toxic Chain, not burning them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You do have some nice T-Wave. You have a semi-fast Encore user. You have Knockoff. You have Screens, but the big thing again is nothing to Cleric, and also not having wish passing for something like Tinkaton might suck sometimes, because Tinkaton and Tentacruel while defensive Pokemon don't have recovery.
I'd also just add as well, the Dunsparce also gets Body Slam with Serene Grace and Glare.
Yeah, that is to mention as well, but. Again, the Will-O-Wisp is a pretty big part because you only burn on off chances, which means the physical attackers that are good into your team anyways will be even worse to deal with.
Yeah,
Exactly.
if I was to tweak the team with pay, I would probably try and add something in there physically defensive, or add something that's good for spreading burns.
Yeah.
Oh, if only Terra still existed, a Colossal would
Probably, actually.
be a lovely cheap
Honestly,
option.
there is a 2-point Colossal, but I don't think it'd be worth it to draft him.
No, not with the
Colossal.
Definitely not.
I think Orpham's actually a better mon for 2 points, even though I do hate it because it's so easy to set
I am
Colossal.
not an Orphan believer at all.
It's good in Fiji. I will say this: as I'm playing Champions, I generally know from leaving Champions and VGC. In singles, nah.
If Orphan got Dragon Tail, it would be a lot better. I might just say that.
Agreed. It
On
needs
its
Dragon
God,
Tail.
why doesn't it get Dragon Tail?
Because it's a worm.
Agreed.
It's on a dragon.
But worms have tails.
Okay, there's loads of Dragon Tail mons that don't get Dragon Tail.
Yeah, but do they have tails? You see any?
I mean, that was a literal tail.
Annihilate gets Iron Tails by not having a tail.
Well, that's just silly, isn't it?
So, the Pokemon that are not Dragon that get Dragon Tail are Arceus, Blastoise,
Makes sense.
Groudon,
Makes sense.
Slowking. Aggron.
T-Tar,
Arbok. Archeops. Blastoise. Charizard.
So most of them are dragon. So most of them are dragon adjacent or have like their big visible tail. And then there's Licky.
Alright, what about Dreadnought?
It has a
Licky.
Dreadnought has a tail.
It's not a very big one.
It has a tail.
Neither does Meganium.
No, Meganium has a tail.
Rampardos does not have a... Yeah, but I'm talking like big tails. They've barely got a tail.
Rampardos has a fairly big tail.
Where's Turtonator's tail? Oh no, it's okay. It's a little fucking spiky one. Alright.
Yeah. It's also a dragon. And
yeah.
Earthworm is a worm. I don't know if you can count...
Actually, to be fair, there is another one with a tail that gets Dragon Tail.
Which one?
Smeargle.
Okay, next two. G-Force.
But Orphan should get Dragon Tail. This is a solid team. I like.
Hang on, Onyx gets Dragon Tail. So if Onyx is allowed Dragon Tail, why isn't Orphan allowed Dragon Tail?
Because Onyx is cool.
Right.
But
True.
Onyx is a
Onyx has a
worm.
smaller
Onyx is
attack than
basically a
Onyx.
fucking worm.
Onyx is a
Onyx.
snake, not a worm.
It's weaker than
Okay, but they're the
Oddish.
same. It's still okay.
Oddish.
Snakes have bones. Worms do not.
Yeah,
Wooper learns the elemental punches, so nothing matters.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Gen 1 there was no rules. There was no rules.
let's get into G-Force's team. Typing spots we're missing Psychic, Bug, and Rock, which are all non-essential, as Psychic is mostly there to be an offensive typing. It doesn't really provide any defensive value. You also don't
We've
have
got to say Psychic's not essential. Holy shit.
No, I agree. By the way, legitimately, this is where all the flying type mons are in this division.
3 flying type mons on this team, yeah. And you don't have a normal type, which
Greedy bastard.
can be bad because while Vorchin is a defensive Pokemon, Vorchin also has a 4 times weakness to Bug.
So this loses hard
One
to Shedinja.
U-turn, then it's wraps.
Yeah, Shedinja goes out hard on this team.
Yeah, there you go.
No, being serious though, there is any ghost type with
You're
U-turn
low-key
goes
cooking.
hard.
Hang on.
To be fair,
I don't
not a
think many
lot of
ghost
not a
type
lot
learns.
of ghost types get U-turn. It's like Dragapult and
Yeah,
like
I
2
think you're
three
alright like
others.
that.
And
But-
the rest of your team is extremely bug resistant. Holy shit.
Yeah.
But also as well, if you're having to bring Wochen to a matchup, it's not looking great sometimes.
Speed tiers wise, you actually don't have any big gaps except for the one between Iron Bundle and Thunderous, but there's not too many Pokemon that are in that specific gap, so you are
No, that's not bad at all. That's
Yeah.
you're not
It's fine.
with that.
Yeah. Removal wise, you're set up pretty well. You have a very good Rapid Spinner and some good Defoggers. Hazard setting wise, you only have rocks, which can be sometimes an issue because spikes and T-spikes can get you into ranges sometimes that are very important. And especially as we've seen, some like 3 teams in this division don't have a grounded poison type or a poison type at all, so T-spikes could be pretty cool.
I also like the fact they don't need to run Defog ever on Mega Dragonite. They have enough Defog options that are never casting on Defog. So that's good. I like that.
Oh yeah. Momentum wise, you're also set up pretty good because out of your 9 mons, 5 get momentum, 6 actually. So yeah, 7 actually with the parting shot as well. So yeah, actually set up very well on the momentum part. Only Togekiss and Wolchin don't momentum, but Togekiss also gets bad.
Togekiss gets bottom pass as well, and actually can run it, to be fair.
I was going to say that more hazards on this team would be great because you've got a defog deterrent in Empoleon as well.
Yeah, so if you can somehow manage to get more hazards, that would be actually pretty amazing.
I think this team is very tightly built. I don't think there's much room for much else. I think this is a very well built team.
Yeah, it's a very tightly built team.
Yeah.
But yeah, the reason the basics are as low as they are is some defensive issues because no Wolchin and the hazard situation. Now to the offensive core. The offensive core physically consists of Dragonite, Mega, which yes, it can still run physical offense because 124 is still pretty strong. Iron Treads,
probably just don't Mega it if you're running because non-Mega has a higher attack stat.
Yeah.
You probably just stay regular.
Yeah, just in case you want the bulk though, you just Mega.
Oh yeah, but just saying it might be important in ranges and stuff,
Yeah.
especially if you're e-speeding.
Yeah, and then you also have Iron Treads, Infernape, and some niche Thunderous sets. So physical, definitely a little weaker. But you have some, you have the Iron Treads, Infernape, and Mega Dinite, which can hit hard enough sometimes. But physical, definitely a little weaker. Especially, it's very good though, because you have the Mega Dinite, you have Togekiss, you have Empoleon, you have Iron Bundle, you have Thunderous, and you have Infernape again. So this is like the opposite of Paid Team. Especially very good, physically a little weaker.
Ooh, yeah, I am actually quite worried physically about this team.
It's fine.
I thought Infernape had a higher attack stat than that.
The reason why
You would think it does.
the reason
But
why
it's just
people
hit really hard.
the reason why people think Infernape has a higher attack stat because it has very good coverage, and it has also sword stance and nasty plot.
And 120 base power moves as well. You're hitting close combats, flare blitzes, overheats.
Yeah.
Iron Fist as well.
Iron Fist helps as well, yeah. With like Mach punches and some elemental punches.
Yeah.
Now to the defense.
Like Wooper.
Yeah, now to the defensive core, where we do see some weaknesses in the type chart on the defensive core, but they look worse than they actually are, because for example, for electric, you have an Iron Treads and a Vochian to switch into electric type moves. And for ice, you have Empoleon, which is, in my opinion, the best ice type switch in the game.
And you have the bundle anyway.
Yeah.
I guess the biggest weakness here is the
you've
ghost
taken away
type.
the best high tier bundle check, and you've
Yeah.
drafted bundle. So
Yeah.
Volcanion exists still.
Yeah, Volcania is also pretty good.
Okay, one of the best. Happy.
Top three.
I guess ghost is the biggest weakness here, though, because once One-Shen is out the picture, it's going to start ghost spamming everywhere.
Yeah, if
Right.
you unluckily get U-turned on the Vochian, ghost spam is going to be an issue. But talking about the quality of some of the defensive mons, there's some very good quality, because we have Empoleon, we have Pecherund, we have Togekiss, which are all very good quality defensive mons, and we have maybe a little lower quality in the Vochian, but still not bad. And obviously the Iron Treads is very good defensively as well. And in niche situations, you even can run D-Knight defensive, because regular D-Knight has good defensive stats, and the Mega one even better ones. So yeah, very good. Also, most of your mons actually have natural recovery, except for the Iron Treads and the Vochian, where we can get into support, because, as we can see, Togekiss does get Wish, and it has the same HP set as Vochian, so it can help that one out. And it can also help the Iron Treads out pretty well, because their HP stats don't differ too much. As mentioned before, the momentum support is very good. Hazard support on such an offensive team could be better, though. But you do have Memento, you have Healing Wish, you have Heal Bell, you have Taunts, you have good knockoff users, you have Will-O-Wisps. While only one, you still have it. You have T-Waves, you have Screens actually as well. So yeah, very well set up, this team. It is a very tight team in the points department, because you, like Claire's team before, this team has budgeted a lot on top picks, and then gotten like one low tier mon in the Wotian. But I think it works well on this team.
I agree.
Yeah, and like the Woken is there to cover a weakness. That's why they drafted it. Like they saw they had a ghost problem, so they drafted probably what was the best dark type left.
I mean, Wotian is
Which,
what, 4 points?
So really
Yeah,
that
4
cheap?
points. I don't think you're going to get anything better dark type.
I get why.
Yeah,
I don't know, but something about hitting 4 feels too low.
Maybe a normal type, like if there's a normal type for 4 points,
Yeah,
like
it's
you can maybe get that.
It's the only
but
defensive
which is
dark
fine.
type in that tier. Except
Which I think is
unless you
fine.
want to count Skuntank.
Actually gives you T-Spikes. But I don't know if I like Skuntank on the team,
I'd take
actually.
Wochian over that, especially on this team.
I'd so take Wochian
Yeah.
over Skuntank.
Yeah, like
If this team didn't have a grounded poison already and didn't have good defog, I'd also take Skuntank. But yeah, I think actually
it has both those
Wochen's
things.
better choice.
yeah.
Oh yeah, that's what I mean. That's why I think Wochen is probably the better choice.
Yeah, like the only thing this team is like does really have an issue with is like not having spikes and T-spikes and the physical offense department. So how can you fix this? I think the most droppable mon in this team is probably Infernape.
Agreed.
Which I don't even mind on this team though as well, because it's versatile.
Yeah, it's pretty versatile, so I don't mind it on this team. But if you were to drop anything, I would drop the Infernape for something either stronger than Infernape, or something that can help you in the hazard department.
Yeah, you definitely need something that was maybe a fighting type with a higher physical attack, maybe.
Yeah.
But I do like what Infernape does to steals here for the likes of Bundle and Petulant.
Yeah, for sure.
And I guess Mega D-Knight, but it does get like Fire Blast, so that's
Yeah.
not too bad.
I mean, if you want to swap it out with something that is on the board that I see right now, a Zapdos Gala, for example, wouldn't be a bad swap necessarily.
I don't know if Chestnut or Heracross are available, but they both get spikes.
Yeah,
and they both have a higher attack stat.
I think they are both available, yeah.
Yeah,
but
a fake higher attack
but maybe
stat,
actually don't get the Galar Zapdos because you already have like 3 flying types.
yeah.
I mean, Heracross, you get like spikes, you get
I
Moxie,
feel like
you get Guts.
Zapdos Galar it struggles into like your Corv and your Skarm, which is why I like Infinite, because it has obviously the fire type.
But to be fair, this team does not struggle into Corv or Scarp. It has Thundurus and a Mega D-Knight.
Yeah, I guess Thundy helps.
If Sneasel was available, you get Toxic Spikes on Sneasler.
What do you even know about Harry?
Anyways, yeah, that is GeForce at number 6. And now we get to the next 3-way tie because Harry, Pate, and GeForce all tied in total points, and now we have a tie from 4 to 5 to 3. So yeah, next up is Mass.
Egg.
Yep.
Egg. Yeah,
Egg.
Mass didn't provide a logo, so he gets egg.
Here's a fun game. Take a shot every time you see 7.5 on your screen right now.
That's 4 shots,
No.
Jesus.
Yeah, that's fine. That's not a lot.
Fun little.
4 shots, one after the other, is a lot.
No, it's not. It's fine.
Roy, you're an alcoholic.
No, I'm British. That's the difference.
I'm Russian.
Hey man, I'm not
and
even
German.
alcoholic.
Yeah, so why are you saying 4's a lot? Fuck.
Because
Fake Russian.
I'm talking about shots like vodka, not some liquor.
What is this team?
This team
We'll
is
get to that.
something.
Anyway, on to the Pokemon.
Typings wise, we're missing Bug, Ice, and Rock, which are all non-essential.
That's
so
fine, yeah.
Not an issue. Speed tiers wise, Bridge pretty well. No apparent huge gaps, so pretty good. Hazard setting wise,
Good up top, but a bit weak to Trick Room is something you got to consider.
yes. But Jellicent is pretty good in Trick Room because Water Spout.
Agreed?
Yeah, but I just mean into you.
Oh, yeah.
You're not going to be able to underspeed very easily.
Yeah.
But yeah, go.
Hazard setting wise, we have Overquill, which can spike and T-spike if necessary, and then we have some pretty solid rockers, I would say. Removal wise, you also have a very good spinner in the Blastoise, and then you have 2 defoggers that can run defog but don't necessarily want to, as 4 move slot syndrome for those. Momentum wise, you're set up pretty well as well. You have a lot of momentum mounts. It's like what 6 mounts? Pretty good. Now, to the offensive department. Offensively, physically, we have Azelf, Mienshao, Flygon, Overquill, and Necrozma, and some Blastoise sets, because Shell Smash Physical Blastoise works. And especially, we have Kilowattrel, we have Azelf again, we have some, we have Meganium, we have Necrozma, Blastoise again, Heatran. So, offensively, we have a lot of mons that can hit very hard. Maybe not the highest quality mons.
Was this a rain team at one point?
That's what I'm thinking. This team really looks like it wants rain, but doesn't have rain.
It definitely looks like a rain team. Like, you look at it and I'm like, everything screams rain, but then there's not a Politoed. I feel like it changed. I think this is the team that changed.
Yeah, I was going to say, surely with an Overquill, Mega Meganium, a Kilo, and a Blastoise, and a Jellicent.
Unless you're
Yeah,
bringing
You
in,
would
like...
fucking think so, wouldn't you?
unless you're... Yeah, I'm trying to... unless you're bringing Silvally Rain Dance, I guess.
So
I'm trying to think of...
Rain Dance.
Anyways, let's get...
This is the Copium episode.
Let's get into the defensive department. The defensive Pokemon on this team are Jellicent, Heatran, Blastoise, some Necrozma sets, some Overquill and Meganium sets, and that's about it, because the top half is not really defensive. Yes, Silvally, you could argue, can run some defensive sets, same with Flygon, but are they good is the other question.
Without Terra, Flygon's kind of iffy.
Yeah. Good and bads about the defense. Good, you have some good quality defensive mons, and for example, like Heatran and Blastoise. Bad thing, recovery is only on Meganium and Jellicent. The next issue is that while yes, a lot of your defensive Pokemon don't have recovery, you also don't have any Wisher. So you cannot Wish support. You do have Healing Wish though in the Azelf, I'm pretty sure. So that could help out in a pinch. Your Hazard and Momentum support, as mentioned before, are good and very good. You don't have Memento, you don't have Heal Bud, but I'm pretty sure Mega Meganium gets Aromatherapy, so you could get away with that.
It does.
You have good Taunt, you have good Knockoff, you have Will-O-Wisp, you have T-Waves, and you even have Screens. And yeah, so generally speaking, this team is pretty good in every category, but not great in every category.
Yeah, I think it's a really... So honestly, this is the most... Again, yeah, it's a really solid team, but it definitely feels like the most
middle of the
Rain
road
team without having a Raymon. Honestly, at one point I was looking at the thing. I was there like, it feels like this just it has like a mon that's like very fast. It just sets rain. Like, does Killer Watcher get rain? Dance?
Maybe.
Probably.
Yeah, maybe that like. I was saying to Valley as a joke, but there may be some matches where this team brings manual rain.
Yeah.
They might be cooking something. Yeah.
Maybe. But yeah, that is Mass at
The
number 5.
Polish sugar cook.
At number 4, we have Marcy, who took Mega Clefable round 1.
I
Kind
respect
of
it.
based.
Honestly, that this is what I was expecting Pabby to do, and then Pabby just didn't do it.
Now-
Marcy had a plan, and I respect the fuck out of that plan.
Now then, let's get into it. Typing-wise, we're only missing Ice, which is not essential. Speed tiers are pretty okay. Nothing too huge of a gap. Your fast Pokemon being Cinderace, obviously, as mentioned before, it can sometimes suck because you're forcing either Terrakion or Cinderace or Hydreigon to run a Scarf to outspeed some of the faster mons. Hazard setting is great. Holy shit.
Wait,
No wonder some
more
of these other
Stealth
teams are
Rocks.
struggling for rocks.
Yeah.
I mean, I say that Terrakion's not running rocks, Mega Clef isn't running rocks, Hydreigon isn't really running rocks, so it's really just the last three.
But
I mean,
This is
Hydreigon
biblical level green.
can,
but
to be fair.
Fortress and Clodsire is enough. Let's be real.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
Removal wise, it's a little bit of a different situation because your removal is very iffy because one, it's Fortress. Yes, it can spin, but it's not a very reliable spinner because it is a mon that is easily spin blocked, and it's not
With no revenge, yeah.
Yeah. And your Defogger is only Hydreigon, which, yes, it can run Defog, but it doesn't necessarily want to.
Plus, on a team like this, where you have so much like hazards, do you really want to defog all that away?
Exactly.
No.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. This team would really appreciate a higher tier spinner.
Yeah.
Or at least one that's better at it.
This is on because honestly, I would mention court change, but court change here doesn't feel good because most of the time you're setting the rocks.
Yeah.
For webs.
Would it not be worth saying dropping like Hydreigon Cinderace and picking up like just a better mon with spikes? I don't know. Or like Rapid Spin, I don't
You
know.
will run into speed tier problems
No.
if you drop those two.
I guess, yeah.
Honestly, drop Terrakion because it's a fraud.
Yeah, fighting type with Rapid Spin. I want any of the Hitmons.
Speed tier issue, anyways.
You can get that. You can get a rapid spin mon, and like if you drop Fortress, and then actually get something better in that speeder.
Your momentum is okay. You have two U-turners, you have 2 Volt Switches, and you have 2 Teleport Mons, so pretty okay. Is it good? I wouldn't necessarily say so because I didn't count Mega Clef for the momentum because if it's already Mega, it doesn't necessarily want to click Teleport because of the rock weakness.
Thank you for saying that, because I was about to say, but for it, and I was like, actually, no, okay, Megaclef doesn't really work with teleport here.
Yeah, but Slowbro and Blissey do.
Yeah, I agree.
Now then, to the offensive core. The offensive core is a problem because physically it's Cinderace Terrakion. Then the next best one is Hydreigon and then Tangrowth. So you're relying a lot on your 2 fastest mons to be physical offensive. Especially it's a lot better because we have more options. We have Mega Clef, we have Golden Go, we have Hydreigon, and then we have some niche options like the Tangrowth, the Vikavolt, and some niche Slowbro sets. Now to the best part about the team is the defensive core. Holy shit, is that an annoying defensive core. Slowbro, Clodsire, Fortress, Vikavolt, Tangrowth, Blissey, Mega Clef, Golden Go. Ouch.
Yeah, I'd hate to face that shit.
Yeah, this is a
Oh,
very
they have
much
gold?
a
Oh,
yeah,
I like this a
something.
lot more with gold. I didn't even spot that.
Approaching
Gold's
like
fa-
gamer level of defense.
Why
Holy
is
shit.
Cinderace on this team?
It's
Why
probably
is
actually
Cinderace
speed
on this
tier,
team
probably.
other than speed tiers?
Yeah, Cinderace is
In
just to be
fact,
offensive.
better
Cinderace is
yet,
there just to nuke shit. That's what it's there
swap
to do.
swap the guy with the Infernape, put Infernape on this team, and drop Terrakion and put fucking Cinderace on that guy's team.
Actually might not be a bad trade. But,
Yeah.
but this team would need
And then you could drop Terrakion and get a shit ton of points.
Yeah, but this team would need a different high tier speedmon then, and the high tier speed.
Yeah,
is-
you could get a good point from Terrakion dropping.
I get Cinderace being necessary here.
Yeah, it is definitely necessary because of the offensive prowess Cinderace provides. Because this team's physical offense definitely struggles without Cinderace and Terrakion.
Yeah, that's fair.
To the support part, hazard support is obviously very amazing. You have decent or okayish momentum support. You do have Encore, Memento, Healing Wish, Heal Bell, Taunt. You have some knockoffs. You have Will-O-Wisp, you have T-Waves, you have Screens, we have Webs. Yeah, support is also pretty good. And this team supports itself very well in the sense that it's a very defensive team that just wants to clean up with its offensive Pokemon because it has a lot of hazards and it can sustain itself with some regen mons, and recovers and wishes. So yeah, team works very well.
I'd also argue as well, Goldengo supports super well by stopping you from defogging or spinning.
Yeah. If not for the Goldengo, this team would be a lot lower. I will be very honest with that.
Goldengo
I can see that, yeah.
But yeah, that is Marcy at number 4. My GOAT, Savage Raccoon.
And the favorite to win it by some people.
Yes, me.
I see it.
Yeah, in egg, definitely, yeah.
They've gone a lot better.
Let me take over.
Oh, mind the
this for my
physical
GOAT.
offense.
Typing-wise, we're only missing Bug, so not essential. Speed tiers are pretty decent. There's obviously the gap between Alolan Raichu and Crobat, which is slightly abusable, but it's okay. And the gap between Chandelure and Chestnut, which is not that bad. Now then, one thing to mention is your poison type is levitating, so it's flying. Bad part because T-Spikes. But we have Misty Terrain, so that kind of fixes that issue a little bit. Hazard setting is pretty bad, because it's... let's be real, the Mega X is never running the rocks. T-Tar also has 4 Mooslot Syndrome, so kind of hard to fit your rocks sometimes, and Chestnut is not coming every game. The removal situation is a little better, because Crobat is a good defogger. Mega X is a good spinner, and backup spinner in Feeny is not bad. Momentum situation...
I'd also say as well, as a bit of copium, Taunt Crobat can stop a lot of mons from setting up hazards as well.
Yes. But that is a little copium. Momentum support is also pretty bad because it's only 3 Pokemon that actively momentum here. So the basics do struggle a lot because of the hazard and momentum situation. Now to the good parts about the team. First of all, the offense. The physical offense is monstrous. We have Mega Excadrill, Palafin, Kyurem, some Chestnut sets, T-Tar, and some Snorlax sets. Especially, we have Chandelure, some T-Tar sets, some Feeny sets, Kyurem again, some Palafin sets, and Alolan Raichu. There's also some niche stuff with like Super Fang Crobat that can help with the offense, or Nasty Block Crobat if you really need it. Offensively, this team is very threatening, especially in the physical department, because nothing is really switching into Mega Excadrill Palafin.
Yeah, and also as well, like you got to remember, Nasty Block Crobat has swept people in this division. It's swept Pates.
True. And also,
but no, the offensive team is fantastic. I love it.
Yeah, the big part about the offense as well, I really like is the Kyurem. Kyurem is always great. This team especially likes Kyurem because this team might struggle sometimes against defensive water types. So guess what? We have Free Strike Kyurem.
Yeah. Kyurem's kind of ridiculous.
Kyurem's one.
For sure.
It's a mon I always am very afraid of when prepping for it. And then it's never as scary as I build it up, but it is definitely a prep menace.
It is a prep
menace.
I
used to underrate it.
Special and physical. So easily.
Yeah.
I used to underrate it, I can't even lie.
I mean, back in the day, Kyurem used to be a solely special attacker, and then it got Scale Shot and Icicle Spear. Now it's a dual threat, so yeah. Let's get
Thank you, loaded dice.
Yeah, let's get into the defensive core. Pokemon classified as defensive on this team are Snorlax, Chestnut, Tapu Fini mainly, and then you have some backup defensive mons like T-Tar, some Crobat sets that can be very defensive depending on the investments you put in, because just overall defensive stats aren't that bad. And in niche situations, Palafin and Mega Excadrill can take a hit as well.
I'm no biased there, but no way. No shot you consider Crobat defensive, but when I bring up Kangaskhan as defensive...
No.
That's where you draw the line.
Crobat's
typing is it's really good.
The typing Crobat provides is very good. That's why I'm mentioning it. It's
Weak
like
to
as
more
a-
types than Kangaskhan is, though.
That's not
Yeah,
how
but-
defensive stuff
so-
works.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
right,
Let's get into
Harry,
this.
Harry, explain.
Crobat has 4 times resistances and 2 resistances. How many resistances does Kangaskhan have?
No, but it has an immunity.
Yeah, so
and
does
it's not
Crobat.
weak to much other than one thing.
So does Crobat. Crobat has an
Yeah.
immunity.
So generally, Harry, like with defensiveness, Normal's not a great defensive typing because you're better off having loads of resistances and more weaknesses than just having like no weaknesses and like an immunity. All right, 1 weakness. But generally, as well, you take hits a lot better than Kangaskhan does because you resist more hits.
Yes.
All right.
Can I go back to memeing now?
No. You stay far away. Let's get into support as well. Support is maybe a little overrated on this team because the hazard support is not that good and the momentum support is not that good. What is good for support on this team is, for example, that you have fast encore, you have memento, you have super fang, which I've mentioned before in the Crobat, which can help get some stuff down. You don't have heal ball or aromatherapy, but you have the Feeny Misty Terrain. And why is the Misty Terrain good here? Because it helps stuff like Mega X-Rail and Palafin not get burned, which is very good. You also have a lot of taunt, you have a lot of knockoff, you have Will-O-Wisp, you have T-Wave, and you have screens as well. So generally speaking, this team could be better could be supporting itself a little better, but the Feeny Misty Terrain helps a lot here.
Great. I think the Finnies are fantastic. A lot of teams when they draft Finny, you find them basically actually like hampering themselves. I think Finny really helps this team.
Yeah. The only
The one exception being
the Kyurem.
Crobat likes a fast toxic.
Yeah, Crobat likes a fast toxic, and obviously you nerf Kyurem's dragon type moves.
I don't.
Yeah,
honestly,
that's not too
Kieran, I'm
bad.
not really.
That's not
I
too bad.
think I think Kieran's mostly hitting the ice moves. I think the ice
Yeah,
moves is its main
yeah,
threat.
You almost never click a dragon move with it.
You
And
click
Crobat
scale shot just to get faster.
Yeah. Crobat can also
And
just
an
toxic stuff
occasional
at top
Spec
of
Draco
that.
as well, to be fair.
Yeah,
But
yeah. But most of the time you're clicking freeze try. Let's be real. But yeah, my goat Savage Raccoon at number 3. Now to number 2, the next
now-
Aussie. Please don't be potential
My
man this
pick to
season,
win.
Riptide. Please don't be potential man.
This is my pick to win the whole division
You
because
say this
he's
every
got-
season though.
How
How often
Yeah.
can we get away with
Yes,
it?
I do. I'm not wrong. Right, okay. Let me explain a little story, okay? Because there generally was a thing. So there was the chat. They were having a conversation in the York chat, and I was like, "Why has no one in Egg drafted Spectria?" And then just as I get that message from Siri, Riptide basically sends in our group chat going like, "No one's picked up Spectria. I might just re-drop my whole team in Grace and get Spectria." Voila. We
Yeah.
have Spectria.
Now then, let's get into this stuff. Typing
why
source
is there a
missing.
raw wake?
I'm gonna mention that. Don't worry.
Sorry, go on.
We're missing Ice Rock, not important. Grass, also not necessary, but nice to have for resistance to ground instead of immunity. Speed tiers wise, we're looking pretty good. No huge gaps to exploit because most gaps are covered here. Hazard setting never going to be asked with Gliscor. You have a backup rocker at least in the Registeel to sometimes free up the Gliscor, and you have a T-Spiker and Dragalge. Removal wise is a little worse because it's mostly going to be on the Rotom Heat. Yes, Gliscor and Scizor can run it, but they'd rather not. Momentum wise, you have 2 good U-turners, 2 flip turners, and a Volt Switcher. Pretty decent. One thing
And Parting Shot my Boostif, I think he gets Parting Shot.
maybe, I'm not certain on that.
Babu Stiff is a real one.
No, that's what I'm about to mention. I have one issue. Mabasov is your dark type. And the next issue, as Ham has just mentioned before, why is there a raw wake?
Okay, listen. One, my Boostif does not get Parting Shot. I take that back. 2, so the Roaring Wake, it's basically there. It's an interesting pick. I think
It's basically there. That's what it fucking is, man.
Yeah.
it was there before his races changed, and I think we kept it there to be an offensive mon.
I just drop Wake and get a better war type. No, you've already got a dragon type.
Yeah.
I think a lot of the waters are taken. I think a lot of the good waters are gone.
Probably something.
Well, Palafin, to be fair, Riptide every season drafts Palafin, that's gone, so.
How much is Wake? I'm gonna look at the fucking tiers right now.
Yeah, look at this.
How much is weight? Is
I
it
think weight's
14?
fine. I mean, it
Wait,
can
13,
also run.
13 points.
Also,
Gotcha.
I will say on the ghost thing as well. While the dark type is my boostif, they do have have for a giraffe which gets healing. That is a normal
Manaphy?
type. Also, who is a psychic?
Manaphy?
Was it something?
Manaphy,
yeah, I'm
same
also-
points.
I'm also not too scared of ghosts here because you have the Spectre.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Would
what type
Manaphy
did you
not be
say,
better?
Manaphy?
Would Manaphy not be better here?
You do want around a 110 speed tier.
You
Okay,
do
let me
want
look.
some
Yeah.
Let me
speed
look.
here.
The feature helps a
Because
lot.
otherwise
Actually,
you're
to be
opening
fair.
up a gap between Gliscor and Iron Valiant, which you don't want to. There's not a lot of
Yeah,
water
no.
types in that speed tier that are worth to get.
I think it was something that had to be done during the draft process, or if you get lucky and someone drops something that can fit in
Yeah,
there.
yeah. Like if this team, for example, had Wogre, a lot better.
I was thinking the
Counterpoint.
exact same thing. A Woga would
Starmie.
be really good.
Starmie is
No.
available. Gets
Yeah,
rapid spin.
Yeah, but it doesn't bridge the
No.
gap.
Yeah,
Does it
I
not?
don't-
It's 110,
fast.
no?
It's 95 to 110. Starmie's 115.
Gotcha. I thought it was
Starmie-
110.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
115.
walk away did fit the gap basically, and it. To be fair, it can run physical and special attacks.
Copium.
It
Anyways,
gets Dragon Dance.
let's get into the offensive department while Roy's talking about it. Physically, we have Mega Scizor, Mabostiff, and Iron Valiant. So a little weaker, very reliant on the Val plus Scizor combo, because how often is Mabostiff realistically coming? Yes, you can run some Gliscor sets with sword stance, but it is going to be a hazard bot a lot on this team. Especially this team has Dragalge, Spectre, some niche Farigiraf sets, I guess, Rotom Heat sets. Then we have the Wake as well.
Yeah, Valiant's definitely going to be forced into physical here more than it wants to be.
Yeah.
I will say
fair,
you do have Reggie Steel Iron Defense as well.
Yeah, I guess, yeah. But Wake being forced into a physical set with a Spectre on the team is not necessarily bad. Let's be very honest.
Like it does get actually its physical move pool is a lot better than you actually think it was on Walking Wake. It's actually got some really good coverage.
Yeah. Now to the defensive part where we have some actually pretty good defensive Pokemon. So we have Dragalge, we have Registeel, we have Farigiraf, we have Rotom Heat, we have Gliscor, and we have the Mega Scizor as well. So some very good quality defensive Pokemon, especially like the Rotom Heat and Gliscor work very well together. And then you add to that like a niche defensive Scizor set, although it will run offense more than defense here, I'm pretty sure. And then Registeel and Dragalge can help out as well. The good part is that we have some recovery with Farigiraf and Gliscor, and then we also have the Farigiraf helping, because hey, it's a 120 HP Wish Pokemon, and it's the highest HP on the team, so it will help a lot with the Wish here on this team. As mentioned before, the hazard support is always going to be pretty good with Gliscor. Momentum support is decent. You have fast Encore. You have you don't have Memento or Heal Bell or Aromatherapy, so watch out around status. You do have Taunt though. You have good knockoffs, Will-O-Wisp, T-Waves. You even have screens. So yeah, this team works well in the sense that its main two threats are supported well by the rest of the team, because Spectre and Iron Valiant will be supported very well by Gliscor, Rotom Heat, Mega Scizor and stuff. I wouldn't say I would say the issue with this team is that some of them are not good quality for what they need to do. For example, Mambostiff, I wouldn't say is good quality. I also don't necessarily understand why the Registeel is there. I would rather have something that maybe gets more like a spike as well to free up Gliscor more.
Reggie Steel was we wanted a bulky steel type basically, and we already had it. Like he gave us rocks. Like some of this was also a team that was. This is also a changed around team because there was a whole different team, and then we saw the Spectre and basically rearranged it to make it work. Because Spectre, I think in Egg, will legitimately sweep some players because they're not prepared for it. And there's some teams that really do not deal with ghost types at all.
Oh yeah. The big part about the team, obviously, the Iron Val and Spectre combination. You add to that Mega Scizor and Gliscor, this team's gonna be scary. Yeah.
Yeah.
That is Riptide at number 2.
Riptides, you need if you don't make playoffs and the Penis does, we're gonna have to have a chat.
No, if
The
Riptide
penis.
if Riptide doesn't make semis, at least we need to have a talk. Honestly.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Agreed.
and whoever paid attention knows who's number one. It's General Riposti. Um.
Very good
Okay.
name. I like this a lot.
So let me get into it. Typing wise, we're missing Ice and Bug, not essential. Speed tiers, pretty well set up. There is a gap between Mega Kangaskhan and Greninja. Be careful because there's some strong Pokemon in that gap, so watch out for it. Otherwise, the speed tiers look pretty fine. There's obviously the gap between Greninja and Dragapult, but not too many mons in there. The main one is the Mega Kangaskhan Greninja gap. Hazard setting is amazing because we have Skarmory and we have some backups for everything. We have one of the two best rapid spinners in the game in Grey Tusk. We have a good defogger in Rotom Mo and some backup defoggers if needed be. Momentum-wise, this team is a little weaker. Yes, we have two Volt Switchers. One is never coming, though, probably, because why would the Golem be coming? Unless you want to boom.
I mean, all I'm saying, his logo is a golem. He knows what he's doing.
Boom, boom, boom. I want you in my room. Also, there is a Morgan does get power and shot as well.
Yeah, Morgrem does get Parting Shot and Slowking does get Chilly Reception, so it is better than it looks right now, but not necessarily amazing, I would say. There's also Teleport
I don't know.
Arcanine,
You have Gren and Pulp, both of which are really good fast pivots, and you got Glowking, which is a slow pivot, and a Rotom. You can't really ask for too much more. And Florges with Battle Pass, and Arcanine with
And you
Teleport.
got Arcanine Teleport.
Yeah, you got plenty. You got plenty.
Yeah, you got plenty. Now to the offenses. Physically, we have Dragapult, some niche Greninja sets, Mega Kangaskhan, Arcanine, some Arcanine sets, and Grey Tusk. And yes, Golem, I guess, too. And
Boom, 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 boom.
especially we have Dragapult, Greninja, we have some niche Arcanine sets, we have some niche Florges, Slowking, and Rotom sets. So, physically better than specially, because specially it relies on items or setup.
But they do have ways to enable setup as well, quite a lot on the team, which I like.
Yes. How do they enable it is with how good the defensive core is. We have a defensive core of Great Tusk, Slowking, Galar, Skarmory, and Florges. You add Rotom to that as well, and you have screens.
Kind of disgusting, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very disgusting. Like the defensive part about this team is very disgusting because Slowking gets Regenerator, Florges gets Wish, Skarmory gets Roost, and Arcanine gets Morning Sun. You even have Wish on the Mega Kangaskhan if you really need it. And yes, the Rotom and Great Tusk cannot recover, but that's where we get into support, where it helps out a lot that you have two Wish passers, so you can free up one. A Mega Kangaskhan,
Are we on defensive at the moment?
I mean, yeah.
Is it okay if I go back to offense for just half a second?
Yeah.
Okay, so you've kind of... I don't like the special attack here. At all. You've got Pult, who is okay, because it can run specs due to its speed. You've got Gren, who is already the same thing as where it uses its speed. And then... yeah, that's about it. Florges is actually your highest special attack mon, and you're gonna struggle to break down stuff, especially on this team. I think we've rated the offense a bit high, to be honest, but
possibly
other aspects of this team, aspects of this team, I do like.
Yeah. Defensively, this team is also set up very good. Like you have the biggest weakness is to ice, where yes, you have some issue because your ice type switch in is Greninja or Arcanine. Well, yes, Arcanine can switch in to an ice type using Ice Move. The most prevalent ice types, for example, Kyurem and Iron Bundle will destroy Arcanine.
Yep. Because they get ground coverage or water coverage.
Yeah,
Yay!
And yeah, that's the big thing. Water types are very strong into this team because most water types gets ice coverage. So the Rotom suddenly gets hit super effective. The Greninja might resist both, but it's not very good defensive. And the Dragapult also gets hit by ice moves.
Unironically, the best ice type switching on this team is Florges.
Or Slowking Galar.
Because it takes most hits. Yeah, or Slowking Galar. Like, they take the hits better than actually Arcanine can do sometimes, and don't get hit super effective as often.
Yeah. One good part about this team, though, as mentioned before, we have two mons that can use Wish, so we can get Great Tusk and Rotom back up to health. We do have a Heal Ball and Aromatherapy. We have a good amount of taunt. We have Prankster screens. We only have one knockoffing mod, which can be sometimes an issue because sometimes while Grey Tusk likes clicking knockoff, having a backup one is never bad. I think Gren actually gets knockoff, and it's not shown here though, but I'm not sure on that one.
I think it does.
I'm gonna double check. I feel like it doesn't, but I'll check.
Yeah. As mentioned before, the
Oh.
momentum support is pretty solid. The hazard support is great. You have Will-O-Wisp, you have
It doesn't
T-Waves.
get knockoff.
Okay, no knockoff, so yeah, only Tusk, so that sucks. And you have Prankster screens, as mentioned before. You also have normal screens with Rotomo if you wanted to. The one thing to mention, the chilly reception, while it's a slow pivot, it doesn't really help in the offensive department because you neither have an ice type that can abuse it, nor do you have anything that clicks Weather Ball with it, so a little bit of a waste, but hey.
Is what is.
Yeah. But yeah, this team, the combination of this team's defense working with the offense is the big part. I will say though, this team is very Rocky Helmet weak.
Yes.
Yes.
Let me have a look.
Agreed.
Yes.
Personally, my favorite team in the division is Savage Raccoon's team, but
Biased.
yes, of
Mine's
course.
Riptides.
But
Mine's
yeah,
Riptides.
I don't know. It's hard to pick a standout from this.
There's some very good
fine.
teams.
But yeah,
My favorite isn't mine, believe it or not.
But yeah, that is number 1, General Posty. Thank you for watching. We're tired of paid losing, as always.
Will I get a better record than 0-9 this season?
Yeah, I mean, you.
God, Harry, please.
I'm very sure you and GeForce will pick up wins this season.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. You've got a real
Can I
team.
beat my previous record?
Yeah. I don't know.
Your
You gotta,
previous
if you
record
go
of
0-9,
your previous record is 2 wins.
the highest
I
record
thought it was the
you've got-
0-9.
No, you had
No, that's
one
your
season.
highest.
You had one season in Quagsire.
Oh.
Where you had 2 wins, I think.
Yeah.
That was one of my first draft seasons as well, so that makes it even worse. Holy.
Can
But
you
yeah,
get 3 wins
Listen.
this season, Harry? That's your goal.
Listen, we probably stuck last season.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
look, I popped off in Legacy, even if half the people didn't care for it.
Yeah, I mean, we both made playoffs in Legacy. I think I made final.
I think I made semis, and I lost to the winner of the whole thing.
I made quarters. I did my thing. Anyways, yeah, thank you guys for watching. This was the Egg PRs, the longest one we had so far. Tomorrow,
Over the longest period.
Yeah, tomorrow we have Clodsire with some special guests as well. But yeah, anything you guys want to say before I shut this off?
Egg.
Snaggle Mortal Spin is a real set. And it gets Egg Bomb.
Why would
Thank you for mentioning the fact it gets Egg Bomb, Roy.
Tune in to next time to Clodcast, where I don't know if there's even a single bad team.
Yeah. Thank you guys for watching. This was the Clodcast. This was the Egg PRs. See you next time. Egg.
Egg.
Egg Bomb.
Egg.